All right, here's the deal. My name is DJ Vince Adams, and my boys said that I was not that Chicago. Well, here's the deal. My Chicago Clubhouse crew, they were like, you know what? You got to take a Chicago test. And I like to say that I did pretty well on the test. And not only did I do well on the test, but they actually rewarded me with the bomb shirt. So I want to let everybody know, man, I absolutely appreciate what the Chicago Clubhouse crew is doing for the city of Chicago. Thank you for keeping us on the map, keeping us on the tongues of the people out there talking coast to coast. And anything y'all need, DJ Vince Adams has got your back. Can't wait to do it again, fellas. See you soon. Let's get it.
What up? This is Rashid Davis, former Chicago Bear wide receiver. Yeah, that guy. And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but they don't know jack.
Hey, young world, what's good? It's your boy Bernard Berrien, a.k.a. B Twice. And when I go podcasting, I make sure to rock with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but they really don't know shit. Twice.
We back. Welcome to the podcast where we think we know everything, but we really don't know shit. But today we have a guest who knows a lot of shit. But first, we're going to get to my all-star team. We also got a guest host. He's a bad dude, man. He's a bad dude. But, let me tell you what we got lined up for you today on the pod. We got a good pod today. All right, so of course we all know that the total destruction of the Cubs is underway. The Chicago Cubs just traded away their best players. I don't really know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know why they couldn't sign those guys. Maybe those guys wanted all the money in the world. I don't know. I have no idea. But we also see that the Bulls, are they trying to put together a contender? What's going on? They still got Laurie on the team. Let's go ahead and get rid of Laurie. While he's worth something, let's go ahead and get rid of him. We still got Kobe. Maybe he'll be a good bench player. I don't know. But we'll get into that later. First, let me introduce my guy, my partner in crime, the man who knows everything and nothing. But that's J.I. J.I. is in here. So this is my man, J.B. J.B. who knows every single stat from every single team since the 90s. Let's bring him in. My man, J.B.
What up?
What up, J.B.?
Man, you already know. Tuesday. Excited. Happy to be here. What's
Super
up, Clubhouse
excited.
world?
Super excited, man. I can't even get my words right. I'm so excited.
Man,
I'm calling you J.I.
Hey, Jay. All Jays are cool,
They're
But,
both John, by the way. They're both John. So,
This is true.
Please excuse me. But anyway, so we got a super guest. He's actually the super back. My man, Sean Sierra of Chicago Sports Zone. And did he drop out?
Yeah, he said he'll be right back. He had
okay. All right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and bring in our guest. We can bring in Sean when he shows up. Let's bring in our guest. Man, but before we actually bring him in, let's run this little tape real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. That was dope, man. That was the best way to introduce our guy. AP. Don't get it confused with AD. It's AP.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, AP?
Man, we chilling. Hey, I like the intro, man. I might need to copy that, man.
Hey, man, I'll send it to you. No problem, man. How you feel, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Appreciate you guys having me on, man.
It's good to see you, man. It's real good to see you. So you're in Georgia, right?
Yes, sir. I'm at Georgia Southern, so I'm currently the director of student athlete development back at Georgetown University.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
You went to school, yeah.
Right on school, yep. Right on college, yep.
You in the Hall of Fame over there too, aren't you?
Yeah, man. I'm down here in the Georgia Southern Hall of Fame, as well as the state of Georgia Sports Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame. So I'm trying to grab them all, man. I'm trying to grab them all.
Okay. You're doing it. You're doing it. So what basically do you do in your job?
It's a lot of things, man. Mentoring is number one. And, helping our young guys fresh out of high school make that transition. Cause it's a little different. They don't have mom and dad reminding them, be here, be there. As well as our current guys, man, just make sure they go into class. So doing the old school class check, so going on campus, and then helping our guys, juniors, seniors, make that transition in the real world. Because when they come in, I tell mom and dad that college is like a fantasy, man. It's not the real world. You got about 20,000, 30,000 people your same age that love to do the same things,
right?
In probably about a 5-mile radius, and especially for our athletes, man. If you get sick, you go see the trainer. You want to get bigger, you go see the strength coach. You need a tutor, you reach out to myself or the academic staff. So when you get in the real world, you get sick, you got to find a doctor, and actually, who's in your network.
Right.
You want to get bigger, you got to find a gym and membership fees. So it's a little different. It's a little different in the real world.
Right. How far is that from Morehouse, from Atlanta?
From Atlanta, we're about 3 hours from Atlanta, about 45 minutes from Savannah, hour and some change from Augusta. So it's off a little bit, but as I tell parents, as they could come in on their recruitment visit, it's big enough to have a little bit of fun, but small enough not to get in too much trouble.
I went to Morehouse, so it was really big enough to have too much fun and getting a lot of trouble.
Oh, you're in the city. You're in the city.
I was in the city. I'm back in the Chicago. I'm back in the Chi now.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay in Atlanta, man. I'd throw my life away.
Yeah. Atlanta, man. Atlanta, you either going up or you going down. There's no medium in Atlanta, man.
Right.
So AP, let me ask you this: with the school Georgia Southern, are you all in the championship subdivision, or have you all moved up?
Oh, we moved up. Oh man, don't get me on these dates, but we moved up. Man, I want to say 14, 15. I'm not going these dates, but we moved up, and I'm just going good for us. We are currently in the Sun Belt Conference.
Oh, y'all moved to the Sun Belt. Okay, that's what's up.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Still Division I. That's what's up.
Division I. Yep, we did Division I. Yes, sir.
I think your basketball team is Georgia Southern basketball is also D1.
D1. Yep. Correct.
That's what's up. Man, loved watching you play. You got a talented family. A lot of people don't know you have a brother that played in the NFL, right? Mike?
Yeah, man. Mike is 3 years older than I am, and he went and played college ball at University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Was a second round draft pick by the Colts.
Yep. Colts, Eagles, and Falcons, right?
Yep. So he played for the Colts for the Jags for 6, and then the Falcons for another 4. So he played 14 years in
That's
the NFL, and now he's outside backers coach at South Carolina University.
That's what's up. Y'all have a
Yeah.
talented family, man. How's that? How was those days growing up, knowing you to the running back and he was the linebacker? A lot of collisions.
A lot of collisions, and I have a crazy story. Is so in high school he was a safety, so he was a senior. I was a freshman, of course, on the scout team. Trying to earn my stripes, and I think it was a power play we ran. I hit the A gap. I seen him coming, and as a back, you always taught to drop that shoulder, protect yourself, and I thought you were gonna give me a little love tap, but nah, man, he let me have it. He let me have it, and I got up and walked back to the huddle, and that was kind of my welcome to high school football, and I carried that on, man, because I felt like if I could get up from a senior at the time, he was All-American safety,
right?
If I can get up and walk right to the huddle, that next year's, man, I was going to be something to deal with.
Absolutely, that's a great story, man. Because
and you were something to deal with.
He was a bruiser, man. You and me personally, I'm a fan of the person that you don't technically know, right?
Yep.
When you came in, and I was like, man, 2-9 just won it. Like, like them grind, like it could be a 3rd and 2, and you just did everything you could to get that first down. Like if you had to run over, crawl, that, like it was like, I love that energy about yourself. And that 2007 season, God rest his soul, Cedric Benson.
Yep.
I want to say you started about 4, 5, maybe 6 games that season because he had got hurt.
Got hurt. Yep.
And you had like 500 yards that season. I was like, man, if you give AP the ball a little bit more, he had 1,000 yards back.
Yeah.
Yup.
That was a great season. I think I had 500 rushing and like 600 receiving with like 57 catches.
And I think like 5 total touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I was like, man, that's the ultra back right there.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
That's how you have to do, man, is what I tell my young guys now at Georgia Southern, man, is more you can do, man. The more you can do, don't label yourself too early as just a running back. Learn how to catch, man. Learn in the slot. If you're down on scout team, man, there's always a spot on the field you can get better at. And that's actually, man, what I try to do.
But see, you was a little ahead of your time as far as the Bears were concerned, because they took what you did reception wise, and then Matt Forte like doubled it.
Yeah.
Lovey understood. Now I got to work with the times.
Yeah. And Matt just carried it, man, and accelerated. I think he had like 7-8 catches one year, or some crazy number like that.
Oh, one year he had 1,000 yards, almost 1,000 yards receiving, and like 1,200 rushing. Like he was doing the thing. And like you really kicked that off for the Bears, because think about it. You already had 1,000 yards from scrimmage, and everybody didn't even know that.
They didn't even know it. Yep.
And that's the 07 season. Y'all was 7-9, and I think y'all just like, it was that one Vikings game off that fluke stuff, if I remember correctly, 07. That's when Cedric got hurt, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh-huh.
Y'all win that game, and that puts y'all in the title hunt, because now you don't have to beat Green Bay.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Y'all went 7-9 that year. Yeah.
So AP, you were kind of like a Swiss Army knife as far as football player, because you not only were a running back, but you were also a demon on special teams. Like, you had a lot of tackles, man. I've seen you ragdolling people like you were Derrick Henry with special teams or something. You were ragdolling people, man.
You was angry.
Yeah, you played angry.
Exactly right. So as a running back, I wanted to run the ball, but I didn't get that all the time, and so my mind, ran out on that kickoff, that guy is doing what I want to do. So I got to go punish him. And early on in my career, people don't know, like, I played 0 special teams in college.
Oh, okay.
0. So the last time I covered a kick was probably like my junior year in high school. But growing up as a football player, that's what we did. We played everything. And my first couple times on kickoff, if you was moving, I was gonna hit you. If I'm knocking down somebody, then somebody else gonna make the tackle. And then just learning that, man, avoid, slip through, and get your hands on the guy, man, and make a play. And then that became, my staple.
Got you. And that's a hell of a staple too, man. Like you said, you said you paved the way for a lot of great Bears, so for third down backs, receiving backs, special teams. Every time that you get on the field, make your presence known. Yep. And when we saw 2-9 on the field, we knew he was going to do something. Even if it was picking up a backside block off a cornerback blitz, we knew you was going to do something.
And again, man, I'm gonna keep saying it, but I have a 12-year-old son, and he plays multiple sport, and that's what I tell him, man. Don't just be out there running up and down the court. Don't just be out there on the field. Find a play. It ain't all about scoring the touchdowns or getting the interception, but like you say, picking up a blitz. Run down on the kickoff, tripping the guy up, something. Make a play.
Absolutely. And that today's game, you see too many passingness, but I sure love that style of football, man. You a throwback, and I loved it, man. Like real talk. What do you think about David Montgomery? Coming into that Bears ilk of run now. I know we don't have a traditional Bears coach. How do you feel about David Montgomery and what's going on?
I like him. I think they're gonna use him a lot more this year. I like to see it a lot more. Being a running back, and he's a good one. He's a good one, and he's one that likes the carries. Likes to wear the defense down, and that's when you see the best of him. You got some guys that can get you these spot plays, but he seems to be a guy that wants many touches and that can handle them. So I like to see him used a lot more, and hopefully, he will be.
Right, because I like, such as yourself, you're a downhill runner, and the way that the Bears really need to is cut the gimmicks and go more with the downhill, because you have a back that's like number one in breaking first tackles. Like, you have to honor that. You got to get in the rock.
And that's what I like about backs, and being at Georgia Southern now, when we're watching guys who are we trying to offer and sign. That's one thing I look for in the back. Now, if they show guys that got 100 yards, 200 yards rushing, but haven't made a cut and haven't made a stiff arm. They still good, but are we going to be able to provide what they're doing right now? Because if not, I need to see them stiff arming, dropping their shoulder, using their tools is what I call it. Because if he gets here and y'all want to make guys miss, well, that ain't what he put on his film. So
it's misleading.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's be caught. Now, if we're gonna give him those gimme plays, then let's not. But if we expect him to come in, stiff arm to make guys move, miss, and spinning, and he's not doing that, that's not what he displayed on his huddle.
So then that leads me to ask you this question: is the days of the 1 foot in the dirt and plant and go, are those running backs kind of like gone? Like, everybody's more shifty, more Reggie Bush-ish? Is that like the way of the future? Because there's only one Derrick Henry, so everybody can't be Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry's still working though.
Yeah.
He working. He alone.
Hey,
He alone.
if it ain't broke, man, don't fix it. And I mean, he's still working it, man. He's still working. And like you say, man, it just goes back to what your team, your organization is trying to do, and it worked for them. I mean, you know, they won games last year and was on the brink of something. So it still works.
It's if you use it, because I heard, you know, we listen to other affiliates, national news, whatever, and it's like the running back is like almost like an afterthought. Where when we grew up, the running back was the top spot. Sometimes the running back was more important than the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, we grew up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I think it is coming to that with these spread offense, these RPOs. It is becoming kind of an afterthought because it's a lot more of a passing game, and even for your linebackers, there's no more 6'4", 250, 260 linebackers anymore. You know,
Greg Floyd's, Kevin Green's.
Yeah. There isn't more of those guys. You know, it's more your 6'1", 6'2", 220. You know, 225. That can run. That can if not cover that slot. Can cover that area in a zone coverage.
Gotcha. So now you got to match speed with speed.
Yep, exactly.
That's interesting.
There's a similarity between yourself and David Montgomery, the way you all run. And there's a segment in that highlight reel. I think it was a game against Denver, if I'm not mistaken. You were surrounded by like 8 dudes.
Yeah.
But you kept your feet moving. You kept digging. And that's a similarity I see between Montgomery and you. You all do not want to go down for nothing.
Yeah,
nothing at all.
I mean, that's that hunger, man. And you know, for myself, with limited opportunities, man, I had to maximize everything I got.
Right.
And because I'm not looking back, talking about next week. Because next week, who knows where I'm gonna be? So,
right.
So if I'm out there, man, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it. How have I got to get it, man?
I see. Yeah, man. So that's the similarity I see between you and Montgomery. So yeah, Montgomery needs to get more touches because he has that same hunger that you have.
Yeah,
that same hunger. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Now, see, Montgomery getting those touches, though, AP, is that something where Nagy can find success, do you feel? Because we get throwing the ball all over the yard, but, you know, we're past Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky right now. We're going with a proven veteran in Andy Dalton, and we're going with a young franchise, basically the face of the franchise for the next 10 years, hopefully, years plus. Yep. So when we were coming up, you know, a young quarterback, his 2 best friends was a good running game and a smart tight end, right?
Yep.
So what do you think the Bears need to do right now? Because right now, I mean, Andy Dalton kind of is in that same situation. Like, I need a solid running game and I need like a good tight end.
I think you got to have some type of running game. You know, and nothing against Andy Dalton, but unless you are, you know, Rodgers, Breeze, you know, those guys that can still kind of get it done.
Okay.
But that's still a tall order to put that on quarterback's shoulders to throw it all over the yard, as you said. You know, there's a lot of pressure. So, you know, the best way, as you said, to take the pressure off that quarterback is running them. So, that's how I feel about it.
Right. So, do you think Matt Nagy is actually going to start? Do you think he's actually going to start running the ball more? Because he likes the Sky Show, and we want to see more of, like we were saying earlier. We want to see more of David Montgomery touching that ball. But it seems like Matt Nagy's so stubborn. He wants to stick with what he wants to do. What do you think?
I think he will. I mean, because it's a win now, I believe. On that staff, it's a win now. Well, I guess in the staff, I mean, you always have to win because at any given time, you start out, in the negative too bad. You can always be replaced. But I mean, I hope he does, and it'll just open up a lot more, for the guys out wide also.
Is Nagy on the hot seat?
Maybe.
I see it. Look, I see the wheels turning.
Yeah, I mean, I think every coach in the NFL, man. I mean, you can't ever get comfortable.
He's got a winning record. He does have a winning record. That means something.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, you come out in that negative, 1-5. Mm-hmm. I mean, what Lovey had a winning record.
He did 10-6 his last season.
Yes, he did. He did.
So yeah. I mean, I guess you can't get too comfortable. And as a coach, I mean, you don't go into week to week thinking I'm on the hot seat, because if not, you're not going. You ain't gonna be successful. But just us as fans and for the sideline talk, I think a little bit, because of the team we've had. I think the fans expected a little bit more.
They got spoiled with that 12-4 season.
Yeah. With the look, I think we expected a little bit more consistency, if you will.
Absolutely, made sense. Oh, hey, Mom, that's Miss Sandra.
She said you're one of the greatest running backs in the NFL. They don't make them like you anymore. I have to agree.
I like that hard hitting. Hey, Mom.
I have to agree. Yeah.
But I do have a text question. One of our callers, well, not callers, but one of our viewers texted me and said, ask AP, he played his full career with the Bears. Did he ever want to play somewhere else? I thought that was a good question, because I thought at one point in time, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Atlanta interested in you in one point in time?
Well, I was always under contract, so I signed. I extended while I was always under contract. So I mean, I'm not a guy that looks back, man. I had a great career in Chicago, man, and great fan. So I came out of that thing healthy. I still run about 3 miles a day. Knees feel good, back feel good, shoulders feel good, toes feel good. So
you good?
I take that, man. I take that over anything, man. And all of my kids, they were born in Illinois. Loved it out there. So I ain't trying to trade that in, man. I'm good.
Man, I love to hear that, man. Nothing but love for the Chi, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But love.
Absolutely, man. So, um, I want to ask you about how was it playing behind Rex? Because we get a lot of mixed reviews about Rex. But some of the people, like guys like Rashid, Bernard, they love Rex.
Oh
So,
yeah,
what's your opinion?
man, he was my guy, and he might have. I think Rex was '07 when I had my 57 catches. So,
Yep, he was the one throwing you balls. It was.
I would always remind him on them third and fours, third and seventh. You know, we break the huddle, check down, check down. Don't forget to check down. So, you know, he did it early on, and he saw it work. He was like, "Hey, man, this working." I said, "I told you, man, I'm gonna be in my spot." So yeah, you know, over the ball in the flats, I'm gonna be in my spot, and it worked. It worked, and so man, I love Rex. And, you know, he has some great games.
So was he your favorite quarterback of all the? I don't want to go through the list because I know it's a lot. Of all the Bears quarterbacks you played with, Rex is your favorite.
You know what, man? I don't really have a favorite. All of them. They kind of brought something. They kind of and you know it's a team sport, man. So.
Right. But I know Kyle used to check down too. Kyle Orton used to check down too.
That's what I'm saying, man. So everybody had a job to do, and you know it was part of our responsibility too, man. So you know some guys say we didn't win with this guy, we didn't win with this guy, but you also have to look at you know what others did around us, and even that. The Super Bowl year. I mean, our special team scored 11 touchdowns that year. So yes. I mean, you know, and the defense. So everybody had a job to do. And you know, when I'm on special team, you know, the kickoff team, you know, inside the 20 is our goal. You know, anything outside of that, man, we didn't do our job. Because if you rate you know, teams starting inside of the 20 on their scoring, you know, it's a big drop down from when they start on the 30.
The percentage is right. So y'all put that on yourselves to make sure. That was y'all test to yourselves.
Of course. And that's what made our first team so good, I think. I mean, you know, I think we put three guys in the Pro Bowl in the year. Azuma, D. Hest, and Daniel Manning or either Knox. I can't remember. And those were like in a 4-year span. 3 guys, 3 returners in our team went to the Pro Bowl.
That was Dave Tobe, right?
Yep, Dave Tobe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep, Dave Tobe.
Dave Tobe, hey, special teams guru.
Yeah,
working.
Man. Yeah. I mean, you know, he put that responsibility on us, and we bought into it. And, you know, because it's one thing for a coach to demand something, but it's another thing for the guys, you know, to buy into it. And I think our guys did that.
Awesome. Do you have
any divas on y'all team either? Like everybody was about ball. I love that about the Bears. Like,
oh yeah. I mean, our locker room was genuine, man. So it didn't matter if you were the starter or you were a second day guy. If you came in the locker room and you wasn't dressed right,
hey, Lovey was on y'all.
We were gonna eat you up. We were gonna eat you up, man. And that's how we roll. I mean, I feel the guy he just got here. Hey man, everybody, we going to so-and-so spot to hang out. And you know, that's how it was.
Who was the clown? Who was the clown in the locker room?
The jokester, man. Me, Jason McKee, because him and I locked him. We were.
Right. I can see Jason McKee too. We talked to J Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if a guy, if his lock was on the other end, because I lock him back when you come in the locker room. So I remember it was a couple guys, man. They came in on the game day. Everybody got their suits on, and some of them trying to be too fashion. Trying to do too much. And
to Hollywood.
Yeah, we were roasting them all the way to the way they lock them.
Oh, y'all was roasting them?
Always they lock them. But that's how we did it, man. And that kept everybody honest.
I love to hear that. And y'all gotta have that too, because man, like I said, like we just looking at it from fans, and when I tell y'all, like on Sundays, we just felt that, like we felt y'all energy through the TV.
Oh yeah, and
win or lose,
and everybody had kids about the same age, so we thought we joke. We were like, man, we buying these gifts. All we really doing is just sharing toys, like And I think my oldest son AJ, he was born like 3 days after Alex's daughter was born. They were leaving Lake Forest Hospital, and we was pulling up. So yeah. And Jason's son, so everybody kids were within a 2-year age group of everybody. So you're talking about 6 different kids. So I mean, everybody, you have a birthday party, everybody show up. So that's how we roll.
A true unit, a true team. I love to hear that, man. I love to hear that.
And the wives got along too, man. So
that's important.
That made our job a whole lot easier too.
Right. Hey, why don't we take a small break real quick, regroup, and then we gonna come right back with some more AP. How that sound?
Love it.
Let's do it.
There was a time when high standards prevailed, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. Acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
Break. Quick break. I wanted to go give me a Moore's Beer. I got one.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
I got some. I went to Madison Liquors and got some.
Oh, you went and got some more?
Yeah. I got some more. So
you got some more?
I got some. Yeah, play on words. But are you a beer drinker, AP?
Every now and then, man. I drink one every now and then, but not a whole lot, not too often.
You a hard liquor drinker, or you don't drink?
Yeah, I sip on the Crown Apple. Every now and then, if I'm out and about, but not too much at the crib.
Oh, okay.
Not too much with the kids. I feel you. That's
yeah.
Okay. Well, hey man, did you when you were in Chicago, did you spend a lot of time going to different restaurants and stuff?
Here and there, but not enough. And my wife, she would always say, "Man, we need to go out and do some stuff, because after a while, man, we're gonna leave, and we're gonna be coming right here to visit just to do all the stuff."
Right.
So, yeah. And I'm a homebody, man. I mean, unless the guys are moving out and about, we'll move around a little bit, but for the most part, man, we did used to go to the what's the steak and crab spot? The Joe.
Oh, Joe's Crab.
Joe's
Crab, right downtown. My wife, she used to love the king crab legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, don't they all?
Yeah.
Right. They always want the expensive part of the
Yeah.
menu.
Yeah. And that they go ahead and she like, and that they go ahead and split them for you too. So you ain't got to.
Joe's. I love Joe's.
Yeah.
My favorite is actually their lobster bisque soup. That's my favorite from Joe's.
Yeah.
Yum.
Love it.
That was our little spot. We used to go to a lot.
So AP, let me ask you this, man. I want to get back on the game. When you coach today, do you still kind of like put that little old school like little dash of seasoning on it, or do you like prepare them for the kind of new, softer flag football version of football that we playing now? No disrespect, because football is still football, but we know y'all was hitting and getting hit. Today it's like tag, you're down.
Yeah. How
are you teaching your players today to deal with that?
I do how I did it. Because I don't know no other way. I'm 1 foot in the dirt. Use your tools, man. Yeah.
Like that.
Stiff arm, you drop your shoulder, you got your flipper, your spin move. So I watch some guys, they do their little workout stuff, and it's 8 moves in like 2 yards of space. I'm like, man, you trying to join the dance team? Like you trying to?
Only Barry Sanders can get away with that.
Yeah, that's it. But for the most of y'all not quick enough to do that. And also, man, it's just being real with who you are. Mm-hmm. I'm not a 4-3 guy, so it ain't just me trying to outshake you. I ain't no quick. Now I got a sudden quickness, but I'm not gonna. I can't dance with you. I ain't gonna shake you up and bake you up. I ain't Barry.
Right.
I'm Barry. And coming up as a kid, man, my 3 favorite backs was Walter Payton, Herschel Walker, and Bo Jackson. And my first year, oh yeah. And my first year of football, I was number 34.
Okay.
So I tried to put a little bit of their game into mine. And as I mentioned, man, the kids at Southern and my son too. We did some running back drills, and everything is one cut north and south. You shake north and south. We don't.
Hey, but you said some names, boy. You and think of the alma maters: Jackson State, Georgia, and Auburn.
Yeah,
dang.
Yeah. And growing up as a running back, and that's what I tell kids now, man, is don't just watch the game, but watch the game. Like if you're a running back, I'm looking at what the running back is doing.
Have tunnel vision. I'm
looking at what the running back doing, how he get to the line, is he looking it off, his steps, how he reading from the receiver. I'm getting on the line of scrimmage, got my hands ready. The quarterback, I'm getting up there, making sure the guys on the line, looking at different things. So, be in tune to the game. That's how I learned the game. We go to the high school, and even high school game. My dad didn't let us run around, with the other kids and play throw up tackle.
Right.
We had to sit in the stand and watch. He said, you watch on Friday night and you go play on Saturday mornings. And that's how my brother and I, learned the game.
Hey, I like that. It's simple, but it's effective.
It's effective.
And it keeps you grounded to your craft.
Yep. And you learn, and it's multiple ways of learning, man. You do it, you hear it, but you also see it. And seeing it is just as good as doing it. I can tell you something, but if you ain't never seen anybody do it,
Right.
you got to figure out how to do it.
Right. Absolutely.
Like,
so who do you watch today in today's NFL game that you say, like, give me your top 5 of that guy that just got it or reminds you
Ooh.
I know, man. Oh, man.
Oh.
Like you said, I see a lot of guys that want to dance with you and then they go down because they don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
People just be like, I'm just gonna run you over. I ain't got time to two-step with you.
I ain't got time for that. I'm gonna throw your ass down.
Let me knock you down for these 3 extra yards.
I know. He ain't been up to speed. Well, of course, I like my boy Henry.
Well, I figured he would be on the list. So
yeah. You know.
So now we need 4. I think I know 2 because of how you play. I have 2 guesses.
He ain't been up the way he have been. I think the injuries kind of got him, but the Gurley. Yeah, had a young Gurley. He was nice, big back and fast, man. So that's a
plus.
Tough. Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna throw Big Gurley in there, man, because he, the shy, ain't getting it. Ain't getting it like the other guys are getting it as far as the touches, and you got to respect that as a back, because if a guy getting 100 more carries than you.
Hey, we talking about like slowing down the game. Some of them games we lost by field goals. We actually win through field position because he grinding out first downs. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's tough. Who else, man? Oh man. I'm tripping, man. I'm tripping. Alvin Kamara, I'm tripping.
Okay, right. Hey, your Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Tennessee boy. Yeah.
Let me get one more.
It's one more that you haven't said yet that I'm thinking we thinking the same, but you haven't said them yet.
Oh man. I'm trying to go through the team. Boy, I'm trying to think.
What's the boy in Minnesota's name?
That's what Dalvin Cook. That's what I'm thinking of because he reminds me of you.
Cook.
I was gonna say the same. He reminds me of him.
He reminds me like he really does. He 1 foot go. He can catch out the backfield. He's got good speed. He'll run you over.
Speed. He got great speed. He got great. Yeah.
He got great speed. But he'll run you over.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not a fast guy, so I respect those guys that got.
Wait, you wasn't slow. Now hold on. You wasn't slow. Now let's not.
You were no slouch.
Yeah, I wasn't slow, but Cook got them. Cook. So it's 2 of them from Florida, Cook and Henry, and Kamara, Georgia boy, and Gurley, I think from like Carolina, I believe. But he played at Georgia.
He played at Georgia.
But yeah, man. And you know what? All backs, and like I said, but Gurley, it's other good guys out there too, man. That just not getting those touches, and as I'm motivating speakers to go out to schools and speak. And a lot of questions I get asked is, who's the best player you ever played against? And I always say, man, is every Sunday, because he's not highlighted, advertised by the NFL, by the media, doesn't mean he's not good. You could be sitting behind a great guy, or it could not be your time. And I'm gonna give you an example. Brady was me and Brady was the same pick, 6th round, 199 pick.
Sure was. Yeah.
And if Drew Bledsoe didn't get hurt,
do we know who Tom Brady is?
That's what I'm saying. So every Sunday, man, you can't go out there thinking so and so ain't playing. We got to ease the game. No, man, because that guy behind him, guess what? He was just like me. He hungry.
Yep.
He ate, and he eat today. He don't know when he gonna eat again. So whatever it take, he gonna get it done. So, you know, all the guys, man, I just love watching. And me and my son, I'm talking about son all the time, but me and my son would be watching the game, and it'll be a running back. I say, "Ooh, boy, that back look good, don't he? Don't he look good, ain't it? Don't he look good, man? Cause I just like to see a good back just tote the rock and keep getting it, cause you know, we do have a tough job, you know, cause we rely on so much to go right for us. You know, not that receivers aren't, but typically it's man coverage, so you're going against one guy, you know. Running back, man, once we get it, it's gonna be at least, you take away the two DBs, it's gonna be at least 9 or 8 coming after us. So I mean, you know,
you gotta know when you play football, it's 2 positions that's always gonna get hit.
Yep.
Running back and anybody on the line.
Yeah. And for us, a lot of the time we don't see the guys who's coming. So not taking anything away, but you know, we always, you know, different groups of guys I'm with, we always talk about what's the toughest position. And you know, I'm a little biased, man, but I'm gonna say running back. We got to run it, we got to catch it, and we got to block it.
All three.
So and you never know that line slide right, and we may be on that defensive end who may be Julius Peppers. So we got to figure it out. You ain't got 3 seconds. You got to figure it out. Do I fake like I'm gonna go low and get my hands on top and hold them for 2 seconds and tell Rex, hey, you got 3 seconds. You better get rid of it now.
Rid of it, yeah.
I got 3 seconds. I can fight anybody for 3 seconds.
Now, speaking of getting rid of the ball, we seen you throw a pass, and I threw it in the highlights too. You threw a pass to Bernard Barrett.
Yeah, hey, you know what, man? All the time, I'm 3 for 3. I threw 2 in college, back to the quarterback. So okay. I threw 2 in college, and one with the Barrett. And you know what? We ran that way back. I think we probably ran that. I remember that. It was warm outside, as I remember when we practiced, like in the OTAs. Mm-hmm. And the defense came. It was just like that. The defense came up and it was wide open. And he brought it back in the game plan for that Saints week. And I was supposed to keep rolling, but the DN came up. I kind of stumbled. And I said, "Hey, he's wide open, baby.
So you just let it fly.
Just get it to him. Don't try to throw no spot. I mean, it was a nice spire, but
it was a nice ball.
Yeah, you ain't don't try to do too much, man. Just throw you not throw the ball, and that's yeah, you know how to throw the ball, man. And but it was a great feeling, man. It was a good one.
So, how many in the NFL did you throw? Just that one?
Just that one. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just that one. And that goes back, you know, to just being, you know, going from a small town, is just being an athlete, man. Going outside and throwing the football, because we got guys on some of our running backs on the team now. We be throwing catch. I said, you ain't throwing the halfback pass.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Your arm a little suspect.
You ain't throwing the halfback pass.
So I'll tell you this. Before you, the only Bears running back I've ever seen throw the ball successfully is Walter Payton.
Oh yeah.
R.I.P. Walter.
Oh yeah.
That's the only running back that I've seen throw the ball before you throw a touchdown.
He threw.
I
seen some. I think he got probably 2 or 3 of them. I believe.
Yeah,
He got quite a few.
Yeah, he got a few. He got a few to Willie Golf.
No stranger to throwing that ball, but here we go again. Like you said, just an athlete.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Just a pure athlete. Arguably the greatest running back of all time. Arguably. A Chicago Bear.
Arguably? Yep. Really? Who's arguing?
The only reason hold on, AP, I need you on me. I need you with me on this. The only reason I say arguably is because some people say Barry Sanders because look what he did without that line, and then you have to give respect to Jim Brown, who actually was a fullback.
That's what I just brought. And you know how I say I said the guys I seen play because Jim Brown did some stuff, man. So it is what it is, man. We ain't got to have number one, man. We back. If you did your thing, you get respect. And
that is, I like that. If you did your thing, we give him respect.
Yeah, man.
Well, you definitely get your respect. Got and get still.
Appreciate it, baby.
Yeah, man. And it's been a pleasure having you on, man. I know you got kids. I'm not sure if you got to go put them in bed or not, but we don't want to.
That's why I had a message in the thing. That's what I was doing. I said I need about 5 minutes because my girls. My girls every night, man. We got a little handshake we do after I have.
That's sweet.
Keep that going. I love that.
Huh?
Yeah. I said you can't miss that.
It started about 3 years ago, and I was teasing my 7-year-old. I said, so how long are we gonna do this? And she gave me that look like, you really asking that? Like forever? I said, okay.
Forever.
Okay.
Forever.
Oh, that's cute.
Hey, I'm just asking, baby. I'm just asking because I don't mind doing it. I just don't want you to grow up and give me the stiff arm like come in here.
Dad.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And if she do stiff arm, she got it from you.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. You got it honestly. Yep.
You're right.
But yeah, man. So we're not gonna keep you hostage. But it's been great having you on, man. And hopefully maybe we can get you back during the bear season.
Please.
Yeah, man. I love it, man. And again, man, appreciate love and respect. And appreciate the love,
man.
Man, gotta talk to you again, AB. Gotta talk to you soon.
Yeah. Hit me up, baby.
The OG AP.
Yeah,
OG
AP.
AP.
On the day too, man.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Okay.
Come on, man. I'm gonna keep it right. I'm gonna keep it.
Good.
I like that jersey in the back. Is that the high school joint or is that the Georgia Southern joint?
That's the Georgia Southern. That's the Georgia
black and silver.
Yeah. It's retired, man. So ain't nobody gonna touch that one. No.
Ain't nobody wear that, man. Yeah. Ain't nobody wear that.
I can't wait to see it up on your wall, man. I love that.
Appreciate it.
All good, AP. Not to be mistaken with AD. AP. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all boys have a good one.
All right, you too.
Soon, bro.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Later.
Man.
Yeah, man. That was a good one, boy. That was a good one. AP is dope. AP was dope for the Bears, man. That is a running back.
Like I told you, the man that year when Cedric Benson got hurt, the man, he almost had 1,000 yards combined, man, rushing and receiving. Like anybody can't just roll. Even some of the greats don't roll out the bed and do that.
And he was super reliable. If you had like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, you about to get that first down. Just hand him the ball. You about to get that first down.
He was a true third down back. He was great in the passing game, especially on 3rd and short, 2nd and short. He had the special teams. Like I said, I didn't even realize he didn't play special teams like I said in college, because you would think he was so polished the way that he plays special
Right.
teams. Like,
Right.
done this before. And all them guys, like he said, Daniel Manning, I think he said Brandon Ayamendejo. Like, it's been a lot of guys that the Bears have had on that special team that have toted that running back number and just or linebacker number and just went down there and like smashed.
Demons.
Dave Todd, I'd love to talk to a Dave Tobe. If a Dave Tobe would love to come on there and talk to us, give us some of that perspective. Because people don't remember. There's 3 phases of football. People always think offense, defense, whatever. But a lot of teams, hell, the Bears won a lot of games because of their special team. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100.
Especially when Devin Hester was playing.
Hey, but that defense too, like he said, look how many times that vaunted Bears defense kept off the kick, the old school kick return, under the 20. You knew they was getting that ball back. You just knew they was getting that ball back.
Yeah.
And to hear that they took pride, bro, they took pride in no matter what, whether you were Paul Edinger, whether you was what's my man name we didn't want to get rid of? Robbie Gold.
Robbie Gold, yeah.
Hey, kick that mug to the end zone, we got you. If they run it out, we got
you. Yep.
That, bro. I got. Hey, shout out to that Bears. Shout out to
definitely. All of that.
Man, I'm fine to see like that's a real dude. Like AP man. I like week 5, 6 as we judging. Normally we do quarters, 4, but with that 17 game, maybe we'll do 4, 4, 5. This season, and then another 4 for the quarters of the football because it's 17 games this year. Kind of chart where the Bears are at. And if David Montgomery doing his thing, man, or he's not doing his thing, let's get AP back on with his assessment.
Well, hopefully David Montgomery will definitely be doing his thing as Bears running backs really should be doing. So Nagy needs to
don't forget, as much as we put emphasis on Montgomery, and I love that was a great pick. Me and you talked about that when he was drafted from Iowa State. Like, dude is a dude. But picking up Derek Williams was very big for them too, because that's another
Damian.
I'm sorry. Damian Williams is another change.
Yeah, he's gonna be all right. I think he's gonna be all right, man.
As of right now, we still do have Tariq Cohen.
We still have Tariq Cohen, but Tariq Cohen does too much running east-west for me. I need him to run north-south.
But you said special teams. Is he our punt returner?
If he stopped running east-west, I have no problem with that.
Well, he's the king of the wide receiver screen, so.
Right. And they need to stop doing that. At least with Tariq. Please stop. And then stop running him off tackle. But I guess that's another show.
The halfback draw usually works for that caliber of player, but hell, what do we know?
Speaking of halfbacks, that brings me to the new segment we're going to introduce tonight. It's called "Wait a Minute, What?"
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, you got to say it just like that. Wait a minute, what? What? So. I'm part of different groups in social media, and I see people saying stupid shit all the time. All the time.
I think you know where you go. Wait, I think I know where you're going with this.
You think you? I think you know.
Did we mention this brother's name about 7 minutes ago?
We did not. And the player, yes.
Yes,
the player we did.
We did. I know exactly.
But the brother who said it, we did not mention his name yet. And I made it a point to erase his name because I didn't want him to get no death threats or anything like that.
Well, I'll say this. I'm not above reproach, nor am I above putting somebody on blast. So,
well, we're about to put him on blast. And to help us put him on blast, I'm bringing in my man, the superback, Sean Sierra.
He's back.
I'm
What's
back,
up,
baby?
Sean? How you feel, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
Warm welcome for Sean. Everybody give Sean a warm round of applause. And everybody
We need the applause track.
keep telling you happy belated, bro. Happy belated. Your birthday was
bro.
July 25th. Happy belated.
July 25th. The big 50, man. That's crazy. 50 years, half a century I've been walking God's green earth, man. And you know what? I did a little Facebook Live. I didn't do anything crazy. Well, I did do crazy. That was the day after. But like at midnight at my birthday, I just hung out on the patio and just started thinking, man, like, you know what? All my friends and family members who didn't make it to 50, you know, who are gone way too long, and, you know, all the crazy shit that I've done in my life. And I'm like, how the hell did I still make it to 50? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just crazy times that I had, you know, growing up and, you know, throughout my life, like how I'm still, what's up, Bullets? How you doing, Papa? You know, it's just crazy. You know, why me? Was I fortunate enough to be here when I had a boy die and a buddy of mine died as a freshman? You know, a buddy of mine died as a junior. You know, one of my best friends died 3 years ago. You know, then other men just along the way. I don't think you guys know this. I used to work I lived in New York for 2 years, and I worked in a World Trade Center. I worked at One World Trade back in 93, 94. And then obviously I left. Yes, sweet Bullets. I am aware of that. I found that out about 10 years old. I was about 10 years old, real quick. And we were at the Amoco gas station. You know, that was it back in the day, the Amoco. And they were giving out they would have little promotions that they had. They would give out little drawings of like Vince Evans and Walter and all this stuff. But they also had little plastic cups, all right, little like big gulp size cups, right? And they had they isolated on a player, you know, whoever player you got. And I happened to get Walter Payton, you know, and I was so happy. I was happy as a pig in slop, dude, because that was my favorite running back. And I'm looking at it, and my mom's out pumping the gas, and I was like, oh my God, mom, and she thought something happened. You know, it was just me and her, but she's like, what? Like, Walter Payton has the same birthday as me. She's like, boy, if you don't shut your mouth, let me finish pumping his gas.
Oh, you saw it on the cup?
Yeah, I saw it on the cup. Had his birthday. I'm like, we got the same birthday. She's like, boy, if you don't stop, let me finish pumping his gas.
Great story, man.
So
that is
of your 50 years. Am I mistaken to say 43 of them has been dedicated to football in some sense or the other?
30. 30, about 45 seasons total.
45. Okay, that's what it was. 45 seasons, right? Okay,
right. Because I was at the end of my career. Well, at the end of my career, I was coaching as well as playing. So, so I played for 30. I started when I was 10. I was in fifth grade at St. Rita Grammar School on the corner of 62nd and Fairfield, and I stopped when I was 40. I was playing with the Chicago Thunder. We had won 2 national championships, and I knew it was time because I stopped having that desire to prepare for the season.
Oh, to prepare. Okay.
And I knew the game, you know, it's not about playing the game. It's about the will to prepare. And if you don't prepare, you're not going to, you know, and I won a lot of individual awards as well as team awards with the various teams that I played on. And you don't just win those awards at the start of the season. You win those in the off season, and everybody, and I felt if I couldn't give that to my teammates, then at that point I knew it was time, because they didn't deserve that, because they're out there busting their ass, and I wasn't. You know, I didn't feel like lifting, I didn't feel like running, I didn't feel like conditioning, I didn't feel like, and it was like, okay, that's now I know I know it's time. So yeah,
that was
seasons.
Tap on the shoulder.
that was like time for you to go. Yeah. So it was good, man. I had a good time, and then like I said, I was fortunate enough to coach for a long time, and that's why I say 45 seasons, because my own seasons of playing and then my seasons of coaching as well, which overlapped at the end. So yeah, 45 football seasons I've had, and it's crazy.
Sean, are you still coaching?
Funny, yes, I am. So I'm coaching at Midwest Prep. It's a prep school out in Orland.
Okay, I heard. I mean, yeah, that's fairly new, right?
Yeah, and they've been around 8 years, give or take. So fairly new, and we got a great cast of characters. We got about 30 or 40 guys now, and we just got them for 3 months. You know, they're here for 1 semester. Get some of their gen eds in. You know, they were hooked up with an education service that gives them college credit.
Nice.
And it's good, man. You don't get any of the high school BS. because these kids are trying to get a scholarship, they're trying to go somewhere, they're trying. So their mindset for the most of them, not all of them, but most of them, is different. Like they're about business, man. They're straight about business, and they stay at a hotel out here in Orland Hills, and they got them locked down. It's like no visitors. You can't have your boys up. Obviously, no girls up. And your parents can't. Like it's some people. They're from Kentucky, from Florida, from wherever. But like if your parents are coming up, they have to let the president know. My guy Marcus Sullivan. They got to let him know that your parents are coming into town. For them. And then you can go be on that floor. So they got them locked down. It's all football, nothing else. So I'm coaching the running backs. And it's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun passing on the knowledge and fun seeing kids like their eyes light up when you tell them, like I was at practice yesterday, and one of the kids we're working on inside zone, and I asked him, I said, "Who's your read on inside zone?" And he's like this, and he told me he's like the tackle. I'm like, no. He's like, no, my old coach told me to tackle. I'm like, hey, your old coach sucks. That's not your read on inside. Maybe that's why you're here. And you didn't get Yeah. I said, your read is the nose.
Right.
Nose. I said, your read is the nose on inside zone. I said, wherever he goes, you go opposite. And he was like, oh, okay, coach. So we were working on that, and see their faces light up, like, oh, when they get that piece of information and it clicks, the light goes on.
You see it, right? That's
priceless, dude. That's priceless.
So that is the perfect segue for this segment that we're about to introduce. You're a running back, and you've been a running back, and you love Walter Payton as just about the whole city of Chicago does, and everybody respects the fact that he is the greatest running back to ever play football.
No, I think you're wrong. I think he's the greatest football player.
Definitely. Definitely.
Player. He just happened to be running back. He's the greatest player. No, I feel you.
Great.
Yeah.
No, he's the greatest player. You're right.
Yeah.
I said that wrong. I stand corrected. So this segment, as I was telling JB, is called Wait a Minute, What? So I was saying that I'm a part of a lot of different groups in social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I read posts, and I see what people are saying. I read a lot of dumbass posts, man. Like, what the fuck are people talking about? So the other night I was just, I was going through my groups, and I was going through posts. And let me show you the post that came up. I'm sorry, that was wait a minute, what? Let me put up the post that I read. And like I said, I did not disclose his name because I didn't want him to get death threats or anybody trying to go to his house and kill him or anything like that. Let me just put it up.
You put it up because I got something to say about that.
Read that closely. AP is better than Sweetness, and it ain't close. So is Eric Dickerson.
Okay, this is why you say no to drugs. This is why crack.
So a couple people were saying AP. You mean like Associated Press, Apple Pie?
Supermarket AMP. Is that what you're talking about?
Right. Like, what the fuck, AP, are you talking about? So I told him that he could come on the podcast and try to defend himself, but he's going to get ripped a new asshole. So I'm going to bring him in. Everybody's going to see his name. I'm sure he's going to say his name. He's coach, though. And he's a good sport because I told him all of these things. He was like, "Man, I got tough skin." So
I would like to hear his.
Yes, I want to hear why this AP, which I'm assuming is Adrian Peterson, which AP really goes by AB all day. AB. And don't get me wrong, he's great. I was about to say he was. He's great, even though he's like in the twilight of his career. But he was great.
Yeah, he's still
But
playing.
come on, better than Walter Payton? Come on, dog. So that was some stupid shit that I read on social media. But anyway, let's bring him in so maybe he could defend himself. Fabian Chapman.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all
What's
doing?
up, man?
Ain't nothing much, man.
God
Before we
damn
jump
it.
into it, real quick, I just want to thank y'all for having me on the platform. You know, you guys got
Thanks
something
for
good
coming.
going here. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, all in good dialogue. You know, I'm not ashamed of my viewpoints here, and I willingly came up here. Let's say that too. So we can get it in, however. But
Well, we appreciate you coming.
Your stance, because you know we are here to educate you.
Okay.
So,
well, it really what it comes down to for me, because a lot of the stats, Walter Payton's got more yards, Adrian Peterson's got more touchdowns. Walter Payton played about like 12 more games. The stats are comparable. It's all right there.
10.
For me, it really comes down to like the
10 more games.
I'm sorry?
10 more games. A lot more yards. A lot more yards.
About what, 1,500? I think Adrian Peterson was at the 14-7. Sweetness had like 16 and some change, right?
Well, remember, Sweetness is like 2.
16? What?
I said 16. Yeah, I thought he was 16,000.
No.
Where's he at?
No, 21,000.
21,000.
21,000.
You got 14.8 for AP, and let me just double check.
Right, you're talking about total yards, right? Like from
we're talking about all purpose
yards.
Right, all purpose,
all purpose yards.
Okay,
absolutely.
Well, hey, I'm gonna say this too. I specifically didn't come up here with notes because I wanted this to be an organic thing. I didn't want to come up here with an itemized list and be reading off as something. So I wanted this to be an organic thing. But
I like true, but that's good. But if you're talking stats, like you got to have those. We got to have those numbers because.
But Sean, he's right because you know he was talking about the 16,000 for Walter Payton. That
I was talking about the rushing. Just the rushing.
But when we talked about total, it's like blown out the water.
But you said he's a better player. You said AP is a better player. You didn't say better rusher. You didn't say better passer. You said he's a better player. Then you said it's not even close. That's where the salt is in the wound right there. But you said it's not even close.
To me, it's not really.
So I want to hear this. So we're saying your original comment was Walter Payton is not the best running back, not the best player, but the best running back.
Right. That was what I meant, right? But I say a player, so
we had to clarify.
Right.
It's fine.
Right. So
it's fine.
When
still wrong. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hold on, Terrence. Let's not bully the man. He was here to talk. So we know that Walter Payton, as far as their careers go, Walter Payton has about 2,000 more rushing yards than Adrian Peterson. We're not even going to count the receiving yards because then it blows everything out of proportion. But that kind of plays to who's the better player. Because the player is not just rushing. The player is encompassing the passing game as well.
Well, that could go by style of play at that time as well, too, right? The Bears heavily needed him to do that.
We all know traditionally running backs were not looked at as in the passing game. But Adrian Peterson solely, his one downfall was the passing game. But continue.
Right. But so like I kind of said, when it comes to running the ball, like I said, the stats are kind of comparable on the rushing side. So for me, it comes down to the eye test, right? I look at the size. Walter Payton, I saw him listed a lot at like 5'11", 190. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm wrong.
It was 5'10", 202, 204 is what he played at.
I knew he was just a tick over
just 2. Over 2, yeah.
Most of his career.
Yeah. Okay. So like speed, agility, the vision, it's all really there for that. I like that. I think AP is more explosive than Walter Payton. I think AP is more explosive than Walter Payton. I like his vision roughly about the same. But like I said too, this isn't. I didn't grow up watching Walter Payton play game in and game out, so all I could do is go back and watch film and see what I can see.
Well, that really explains a lot. And I'm not being condescending by any stretch. If you
Right.
like, I can't. And people older than me will say, "Well, Jim Brown's the best." Okay?
Exactly.
I can't go back. I can watch highlights, but if you watch him game in and game out, and I didn't watch AP game in and game out, but I saw enough of him to see the difference. As far as explosion, what do you mean explosion? Because there are times when Walter Payton ran people over. There are times when Walter Payton ran by people. There are times when Walter Payton shook you and was gone in a heartbeat and left people froze. And these are all the same things that AP has done as well. And so when you say more explosive, what do you mean? Because everything that AP has that I think you mean, and I'll let you answer in a second, so to defend yourself. Everything that I think you mean as far as explosion that AP's done, Walter Payton has done that as well. And he was ahead of his time because his training regimen. Okay, and we have to take into account different generations because the actual training, the technology of training that Walter had, and the technology at the weight room, and I was a strength and conditioning coach, so that's why I'm bringing this up. Is so different. Hand clings were so different. Plyometrics weren't around when Walter Payton was there. All these things that make you
growing up. We didn't do that at all.
So what do you mean more explosive? Because Walter Payton had this amazing ability to bounce off of people, to run people over, just like AD did. I just don't think he was as fast as AD. Which
right.
We talking about a guy that ran a 4.3 and a guy that ran a 4.5, a sub 4.57, 4.5, and then he ran a 4.6 one day.
So I'm not talking about like open field speed. I'm talking about how quick they get to the second level, one step in the ground, making that cut. I think AP's better in that aspect, right? Like close quarters, making that step and making a move off of that one step. I think AP is there. Whereas more Walter Payton, I don't see it as the movements aren't as decisive. It's more of a loop, or it's not the same type of movement, I should say, right? Because that's why I say Eric Dickerson, because I see that with Eric Dickerson as well. The 1 foot step and go, and then he's flying up the field. We see that a lot with Eric Dickerson, and he bounces off defenders, and he's huge. He's a huge guy as well.
6'3", 220 when he plays.
I was gonna say, can you talk about that the difference between world class speed and game speed?
Well, that's a thing. Yes, that's a. You're saying, can I explain the difference between it?
Because I'll segue to Jerry Rice. I believe ran a sub 4.740.
Yeah, he's a 4.6 guy. So
4.6 guy, right, Sean? But his game
speed,
I didn't see Jerry Rice get caught from behind too often. Just like I didn't see Walter get caught from behind too often.
A lot of times, you see Walter, when Walter would get caught, it would be guys who have angles. And those are world class speed guys. Eric Dickerson was one of those world class speed because he was a track guy at SMU.
Yeah, you got that. Thank you. That's what I was leading to. Sean. He was a track guy first.
When he made the most money of his career at SMU.
I understand that part of it, but then because now when we start talking about world class speed, you're just explaining to me why somebody's faster. I mean, they're faster than and that's an attribute that goes to them on the field. So it's like
but that doesn't make you a better.
No, it does not make you better. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It does not make you better. I'm looking at it like I said. A lot of times it comes down to the eye test for me. Because like I didn't grow up watching O.J. Simpson, but I love O.J. Simpson as a running back. I love O.J. Simpson. I love Eric Dickerson as a running back. And I didn't grow up watching these guys, but when I see it, it registers to me in a way as like, these guys are the best. And the same with Barry Sanders. I saw more of Barry Sanders because that's more of my.
Why didn't I hear Walter Payton in that list of names you just said?
I don't see it the same way.
So I'll tell you your first and your second mistake.
Okay.
When you say O.J. Simpson, great running back, right? The electric company, they turn on the juice. You know what the electric company was? His offensive line. Sean, would you educate this man, please?
Yeah, Juice was good. I will give. He reminded me of a newer, younger Gale Sayers.
Talk.
Okay. He reminded me. Gale Sayers was a guy that, and I've watched a lot of film on Gale Sayers, and the way and that you talk about when you just watch when I first saw highlights, I'm like, dude, this dude is smooth. Like there was a certain smoothness about him where he was never, rushing and looking and trying bobbing it and then exploding. Like he was patient and he was gliding to the point, and he never put his foot in the ground and went crazy. He was smooth. Like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? His ability to turn it up in 2 or 3 steps as he's moving was unmatched, unmatched by most. OJ was a there are certain people in their specific eras who transcend that era. OJ, Jim Brown was one. Jim Brown was just a brute. Jim Brown was 220 pounds back in the 50s and 60s. Damn, you had linebackers at 190, bro.
There you go.
Know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and he was mean. He was mean.
Yeah, he had anger issues. He had anger issues. And he didn't like hanging out with all them light skinned people up in Syracuse. That's right. And so, but he was mean and he was physical, and people couldn't match his physicality often because he'd run you over. Walter Payton was another dude. Walter Payton was a little shorter in stature, but dude, this dude was a brick shithouse, man. And the thing that I want, Walter Payton never had a passing game to back him up, to help him out. Willie Gault was there, but that was, think about when he had Willie Gault in 85. That was the end of his career. 85, 86, 87. He retired in 87.
Right, he came in 75?
75.
Yeah, 75.
Yep, 75. So, Adrian Peterson had quarterbacks. He had a couple of other receivers. And I'm not saying I'm not saying
Adrian Peterson has a laundry list of quarterbacks, though. Like, it's a rotating circle in there. He's never had a lot of security. Bernard Berrien was his best receiver until Sidney Rice comes along and whatnot. Like,
who was the best? Who was Walter Payton's best? Who was Walter Payton's best receiver?
Willie Gault, the same person. But
yep.
And he wasn't a great receiver.
No,
but I have to bring this to your attention, Fabian, because around here we know that there are certain things where we say numbers do lie, because sometimes a person can have the numbers because they didn't play 30 years.
Kareem.
Wait. LeBron. Okay. That's another day.
But I agree with that point.
When you look at the amount, like, obviously Adrian Peterson has played longer than Walter Payton, obviously. But when you look at the rushing attempts, right? When you look at the touchdowns, we have, the rushing yards where Payton leads. You have rushing touchdowns, I believe, because Adrian Peterson, I want to say, is like third or fourth all-time rushing touchdowns. Like Payton, we know Payton is 110. We knew that was the record. Like at one time, that was what it was.
The record, yeah.
Right. That was the record. Remember, Sean? That was the record. So we know AP didn't pass that. AD didn't pass that. Then, I mean, it was a different game back then. So like they rushing attempts, maybe this or that, whatever. But like receptions, when you bring receptions into the game, we know that Walter was like a better receiving back because Adrian Peterson like had some. Now, I'm not saying he couldn't catch, but he wasn't the most reliable in the passing game.
Right.
And he had butterfingers.
Like you ain't gonna stretch the field, and we know that like Walter,
not his forte, man.
Not his forte, but in complete football sense, like Walter doubled his. I want to say it's like
here's what he had
5,000 to like 2,500 or some shit like that.
4,538 receiving yards to 2,466 receiving yards for AP.
I'm close. I'm not
almost doubled. Yes, almost doubled.
It's off memory. I'm not that far. And I want to say like receiving touchdowns is like 11-5 or some shit. Like it's double or something, maybe even triple. Okay. But the thing that you have to remember is this: when you put the yards from scrimmage, right? Mm-hmm. That's rushing and receiving combined. That's total yards. Like Walter Payton is like so far above everybody else, it's not even funny. So that's why I say when you look at a running back position, you can say that AP may be a better pure rusher. But when you encompass everything that entails, like our AP just told you, it's about rushing, receiving, and blocking.
Blocking.
Mm-hmm. You just said all three of those. It's an NFL guy.
We can also throw in a bonus for passing.
Throwing touchdowns.
Walter Payton threw 8 of them.
Adrian Peterson threw like none.
Okay.
No, like I said, I love AD. I think all day Adrian Peterson, because I watched him in Oklahoma and I was like, well, damn.
That boy's special.
He kind of, if you really think
that boy's
about
special.
it, he kind of was Travis Henry-esque before we knew what Travis Henry was.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Travis was with the Bills.
Yeah, I mean AP was ragdolling people when he was in Minnesota. He was ragdolling
at about 215.
But let me say something in there too, though, because I'm not gonna try to dispute the receiving. Right, he's not a good receiving running back. Okay, and that's fine. But when I'm speaking, when I'm speaking to it, I'm speaking of who I want. I want the ball in this person's hands. That's where I was coming from with it, right? So I'd rather, if I need a clutch run, it's 3rd and 4, it's 2nd and 6 or whatever. I need a good run to set up whatever I need. I'd rather give the ball to Adrian Peterson. Now, you might say I can get more creative ways to get the ball to Walter Payton.
It's actually the opposite, but continue.
What? I don't understand. Go ahead. It's the opposite of what?
Back in those days, you didn't find creative ways to get Walter Payton the ball. You just told everybody in the dirt.
Gave him the ball.
Well, then
go get this first down.
Well, then you can't argue versatility. Well, I'm saying regardless of that
we
point.
just talked about the receiving yards.
but that goes to versatility, though, right? Because you're getting the ball in different types of ways. That's where you get to use his skill set. You got to space out and whatnot.
You got to think of era too, because back then, you knew Walter was running the ball because there was no threat of a passing attack.
Mm-hmm.
With Adrian Peterson, no, just feel me. Hold on a second.
I'm with you.
I'm not saying that you didn't know he could run the ball, but they had the threat of outside passing attacks. Like Walter Payton would literally, and Sean, if I'm mistaken, because I'm a quarterback, you're a running back. Walter Payton would traditionally see himself lined up against 8 and sometimes 9 in the box. Am I mistaken?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
No, you're not mistaken. You're not mistaken.
Nope.
No,
not at all.
They weren't giving the ball to Matsui, that's for sure.
There you go. Adrian Peterson did not see that.
Adrian Peterson didn't see 8 consistent in the box?
Yes.
Not
as much as Walter. Not as much as Walter.
And sometimes 9.
I would say this. Because that goes to error, like you said in the beginning of this. That's error. Because people aren't stretching the field like that, and the threat of that isn't there. So let me ask Sean this.
That makes his accomplishments that more difficult.
Let me ask Sean this. So you're a running back, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you saw 9 in the box, it looked like a goal line on the 40-yard line, right? You got 9 in the box, you got 6 down linemen or whatever, you got 3 linebackers and you got 2 outside corners. What's in your head if you could get to the edge? You gone, right?
Depends on how they're lined up.
Because how they lined up and how we block it, but one missed tackle and my foot goes in the ground the right way and I'm up the field and there's nobody in front of me.
It depends on if they rushing up the gut, if they got outside contained too.
Well, that depends on how good I am and how good they're playing it and all of that situation. But what I'm saying is, if we get a hand on people and we create avenues the right way, I can get yards here. People aren't lining up 9 in the box every single time. And if they are, you know what they probably do? They hit him on a swing pass and get him out in space, and so he can make moves because they're coming hard up the field. You know? Right. No, that's true. But that's why the yards are what they are too, right? But no, for sure. And let me say this, because this might trigger y'all another way. But I don't necessarily feel this for football, but a lot of people in my generation, I'm 33, so I was born in 1988. So a lot of people in my generation would say football wasn't that good at that time. Maybe the talent level is that disparaging. So Walter Payton's a man amongst boys, it looks like. And I'm not disrespecting anybody that played at that time. I'm saying maybe the talent gap was that far apart.
Okay, but
I'm just saying.
But you can say that in regards to anything. Okay, when you look at Walter Payton's offensive line, they were 250 pounds. Okay. And you have Adrian Peterson, and he's got guys who are 290, 310, 320.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We talk about the advancement of the game. So it's very difficult to compare people. If you want to say, well, he's better than this guy and this guy, well, technology has advanced. And like I had told you, especially in the weight room where athletes become more, Walter Payton had like a 40-something inch vertical before motherfuckers had 40-something inch verticals, unless you're playing basketball. Those are the explosions they have. And if AP had it, well, that's great. But now you're talking about 35 years of technological advancement in the training rate. Exactly. Athletes get bigger, stronger, faster. Now there are certain athletes that can cross boundaries and play in different eras. Michael is one of them. Walter's one of them. Jim Brown's another one. I think AP is another one. Barry Sanders could play in any freaking era. He could play now if he wanted to. Just lose at 20. Okay. But the fact
Sean, real quick. I would ask, wouldn't all like Hall of Fame calibers or all the greats cross those different genres?
No,
right?
not all.
No, because you could be dominant in your era. And think about linebackers. Think about the Jack Hams and all those guys who could knock the shit out of you and take your head off. But you get an AP or you get a Barry Sanders and he breaks your ankles and he's gone. You ain't making too many tackles. You follow me? And and plus linebackers they weren't as big, and it just what we talk about. We have to keep saying it. The evolution of the player. Some people were great in that era, and superstars and Hall of Famers in that era. Right. But you couldn't put them in 1990, 2000, 2020. You just can't do it.
Hey,
size alone.
Who is that? Who is that defensive end in Minnesota? He was really undersized, but he was good for back then.
John Randall.
Yes. Yes. If you put him in today's game, he wouldn't be that good. It would be
tough because you got offensive linemen who are 300 pounds who are just as strong and as quick as him.
Or strong but are faster.
Right.
It's just a different era. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is like when you have everybody stopping one guy, with Walter Payton, they weren't throwing the ball. Your leading receiver had 50 catches, 60 catches, 80 catches, max.
Wait,
you know what you're doing.
The tight end at that time because they weren't throwing the ball on the outsides like that. Not in the 70s.
It was different. It's a different era. And when you know that this is the only thing you got to go and they stop it, and can you stop it? No, you can't. And I'm not, again, this is no disrespect toward Adrian Peterson by any stretch.
Not at all.
Okay, not by any stretch. I have the utmost respect of him. I was one of his biggest fans. He was one of my favorite players when he played, and especially after he came. And here's to show you the technology. What did he do the year after he fucking had his ACL surgery? What did he do? 2,000 yards. And what happened when Gale Sayers had an ACL surgery?
Career was over.
That was it. It was it. That was done. It was a wrap.
So you see how technology helps players, okay? And it doesn't. I'm not diminishing his talent. It's just that the technology. You put Gale Sayers in the same year that the AP tore his ACL, and Gale Sayers came back. Dude, Gale Sayers go 100 miles an hour and make a 90-degree cut and leave. He stopped on a dime and leave change, bro. And it was like, holy shit, this isn't real. He was Barry Sanders quick before Barry Sanders.
There you go.
Okay.
It's just a bigger back too. A bigger back.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Fabian. Have you seen any Gale Sayers clips?
I have.
You have. Now, would you say that AP is better than him, and it's not even close?
What I'm saying with that level of football, I can't really judge that. I can't judge what people were doing back then because I don't think it's any competition. So I think you've got an elite level of talent with the ball in his hand versus the guys that are not elite. And he's making it look like that.
Okay.
But then you can still say those guys
kind of like Will Chamberlain and Bill Russell.
Exactly.
But there's still guys here who are not elite. There are guys today who aren't elite. They're just
Right.
big and strong
Guys
faster.
aren't-
They're not elite.
They're not elite compared to the elite in the league, but the gap is closed. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like Will Chamberlain isn't going to come in and average 50 points and 25 boards on people because the gap is closed. It doesn't mean he wasn't a great athlete. The same way I think Michael Jordan might come in and win 5 or 6 rings, but I don't know if he wins 10 straight scoring titles. I'm not sure. I'm just saying because the gap
titles
on
are
scoring.
titles.
I'm just saying because
I
the
got
gap
you.
in scoring has closed. That gap has closed. It don't mean he wouldn't be the best
so
player.
here's why. Because if you want to go off topic and say Michael, the 3-point shot wasn't as prevalent as it was today.
sure.
You know,
For
Steph
sure.
Curry missed more
The
shots.
Bulls shot 9 a game.
For
9.
sure.
You know, and a player shoot that in a quarter. So
I was just speaking
it's
to
evolution.
gap, you know what I mean, in sports. That's
I hear you. So, but here's my thing to you. The gap there's still the people that I'll agree with you. The gap is closed. I don't know how much is closed. I don't think we have any superior Hall of Fame. Like we'll have some Hall of Fame running backs soon, just because of you got to put them in this era. I don't think we have any trendsetters, like we do, like a Walter Payton, like an Emmitt Smith, like a Barry Sanders, like an AP. I don't think we have any of those in this game today. Derrick Henry is close.
He's close,
but he's got. I need to see more. You can't do it for 3 seasons.
I got.
You got to do it for 8. You got to do it for 9. You got to do it for 10.
I got one.
Who you got, JB?
I got one.
Mm-hmm.
The last transcending running back, everything entailed, has to be Marshall Faulk.
Marshall
Oh no,
Faulk
I say
is-
now. No, I said now.
Yes,
Hell
talking
yeah,
about
Marshall
that.
Faulk. Hell yeah.
Because even
Hell
now,
yeah.
like today, they don't do the rushing part that Marshall Faulk did. They may do the passing. I'm sorry, the receiving, but they don't do the rushing that Marshall Faulk did.
Dude, he was the man who made the greatest show on turf. Dude, I love that dude.
That's like a 2,500
yard a year
guy.
Let me ask you guys this: what do y'all? Does Alvin Kamara have that type of potential? I think him is one of those types of guys.
He does.
What did you say though?
more-
Wait. What did you
3 more
say?
years.
Does Alvin Kamara have that?
I'm talking just transcend. I'm not talking about
No. Does he have that? What? What'd you say?
what I say type of potential. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
exactly it. And he's good now. Okay, but don't forget, you had a guy named Joe Thomas who was doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
Would
You
you
had a
tell
whole-
him?
you had who's the Bears tight end? Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham 5 years ago is a different Jimmy Graham than he is now. You had
For sure.
weapons. You had Joe Horn. I think Joe Horn's way too bad. They even brought our boy Cam Meredith down there. You had other weapons.
Again, Junior.
You had other weapons for him.
Thomas.
No disrespect to Alvin Kamara. I think he's a stud.
Right.
He's got to do it more. All right. There's to be called. You know, if you're going to do that, you have to match longevities. You know, they got to be within 3 years of each other. Like you can't.
And that's
play
hard now too because they throw you away at running back.
They do.
They do, which is why if you are more dominant, let me not say dominant. If you're more productive in that passing aspect, now that 8 in the box goes to a traditional 7, sometimes 6.
For sure.
Which is why if Alvin Kamara could give you more on the running side, he'd give you all you want on the passing side. He can give you more Marshall Faulk-esque performances. Now we're changing the narrative.
Yeah.
Now, if McCaffrey can continue to do what he's doing,
close.
Then he's gonna be in that conversation.
Did he have like 122 receptions or some shit like that?
I don't know. He was a third thousand guy. So so he's well on his way.
He's on
his way. And if he can, first of all, you got to stay healthy. That's for starters. And secondly,
that's hard enough.
Can he be productive? And we're not saying he's got to be 1,000 every year, but you got to get 600 to 800, 700 to 800 receiving yards a year, because now you're a complete back. And he's a little shorter, right? So he's not a blitz pickup kind of guy like Walter Payton was. Okay, I will give AP that he wasn't bad at blitz pickup. He wasn't bad. He had enough anger issues where he just wanted to hit people.
He'll step in. He'll step in.
He would run. He tried to run a DB over as opposed to try and stiff arm him, dude.
Right,
he had anger issues. No, he just wanted to hit people.
And I love that about him. Now, The thing that I have to kind of like, I don't want to dismiss Fabian because I like you, I like your content, I like your mind.
Appreciate you.
But when you brought up the Eric Dickerson thing, that kind of like blew me because like Eric
you lost credibility there, Papa.
There you go. Like Eric Dickerson owns, everybody knows 2156. Like Eric Dickerson owns that record.
Right.
But they also gave that man the ball like every freaking play. Like,
okay.
So,
they didn't have shit else.
No, they had Henry Eller. They had a couple of other guys. But so they had other options.
But Eric Dickerson was probably their most reliable threat. So they gave him the ball all the goddamn time.
Sean, I'm fading. They had two dope receivers, Henry Eller and somebody else, and this is before they got Jim Everett at quarterback.
I can't remember who the other guy is now beside Henry Eller. But what that does, Fabian, is now you just can't put 8 in a box. You can't. You have to keep. And back then, defenses were a lot more weren't as complex. Like you didn't. Most of the time, yours are too high. You're playing cover 2, cover 2, cover 3. If you're playing cover 3, well, man, you got three guys deep. A corner, maybe a second corner. That's 5 guys. Now you got 6 guys in a box.
Yeah.
And against Eric Dickerson, you put 6 guys in the box with Walter Payton.
With world-class speed, mind you.
Well, you put 6 guys in the box with Adrian Peterson. You put 6 guys in the box. So, you know what I'm saying? Put 6 guys in the box with Emmitt Smith. You would never put 6 guys in the box with Emmitt Smith, ever, because of his offensive line. Adrian,
okay.
It's literally when Walter Payton had 7, 8 men in the box and sometimes 9. That's all they had.
That's
and
all they had.
Did it all the time. They didn't, and it's easy because if you hit a guy at a slant, okay, good, but you hit him again. Okay, listen, outside linebacker, I need you to make sure, I need you to check run real quick, and I need you to get out there. They're gonna have guys falling back if you have a threat of a passing game, not even a good one, but a threat. And the Bears need to have a threat of a passing game. You're talking about James Scott. We're talking about Greg Latta as a tight end. We're talking about Ricky
77, 78.
Yes.
What you talking about? Yeah.
And that's when he won the National League, the MVP in 1977.
Rushing the yards.
1,800 yards. And when everyone in the mama knew he was getting the ball with no threat of a passing game. None. So, and again, I just need you to know that I'm not, there's no disrespect, no shade, no hate toward any of the other running backs at all. But if you ask me to start a franchise with the running back, dude, there's no other person, man. There really isn't.
Real quick, before we even get off that, because I want to talk about that, but y'all did just kind of disparage Eric Dickerson by saying he got force-fed the ball, but then you said Walter Payton got force-fed the ball too.
No.
We did.
But you saying it wasn't 9 in the box, 8, 9 in the box.
Correct.
Yes, because you had Henry Eller, you had other guys, you had
Willie Anderson, Willie Flipper Anderson.
You had a threat of the passing game, which means you couldn't put those guys in there.
I'm just making sure we all on the same page.
So you keeping the defense honest because you got Henry Eller over there.
Well, Henry Eller and Flipper Anderson can fly.
Yeah. But you still giving Eric Dickerson the ball.
Right, because they can fly.
He gonna run past your ass.
Okay, so let me tap back on what something Sean just said. Because y'all said something earlier, but he just kind of altered it. Earlier, y'all said he was the greatest football player ever. Or is he the greatest running back ever? Well, or are you saying he's just both? You know,
I would say both.
Both. You need one player. You're starting the team.
So
you got the first pick. You want Walter Payton?
I'll say this.
Absolutely.
And here's why. Here's why. And we can only go. We want to go numbers. We can go numbers. And somebody put it up earlier. Okay, how many games did Walter Payton miss? Okay, for 13 seasons. This dude was there every single.
I'm about to say he didn't miss a game in his career.
He missed one. Okay. He missed one, and he was pissed. They actually held him out.
I'm about to say that was a holdout. He didn't miss it. It was a hold, right?
But he didn't play. So he missed one game his entire season. And
I like that point.
And part of it is
I like that point.
When you're there, you can have all the ability in the world. I mean, talent in the world, but the best ability is availability. And when he's there every week in and week out, and you know what you're going to get. You can give me a guy who's 6'3", you give me a Derrick Henry, but if he's not healthy, what good is he? This guy, he and he can do everything, because now if you have a young quarterback, okay, this guy can help protect your quarterback. We saw what happened in the Jim McMahon coming out in the Thursday night game against Minnesota. Okay, we saw that. We've seen other killer blocks where he just goes, and this guy was 202 pounds. So in that term, he's probably like 195, because back in the day they always gave you extra weight just to make you look bigger. And so you're talking about linebackers who were 200, 220, okay, back then, maybe 230. And this dude is putting his face in there. He's not just he's stone cold in these guys. I mean, they're hitting walls. This is why, as to start a franchise with a running back, yeah, I would take him, because his availability. He missed one game that he bitched and moaned about. He wanted to play, and they wouldn't let him play. And two, everything you need him to do, he can do. He can clean up someone's mess. If a offensive lineman got beat, okay, he can pick up a blitzer or somebody who gets through. This guy could do everything. Whatever he needed him to do. He even returned kicks his rookie year. You know what I mean, man? A couple of touchdowns as a returner. This guy was awesome, man. And I just keep need to say it. Never, ever wanted to come out, bro. This guy was this was it. Never missed one game, dude. And
that's a great answer. I like that reason though. The availability. Yeah. I like that positioning right there.
Yeah. And might I throw in there, like Bullis just said, he never ran out of bounds. He got pushed out of bounds. He never ran out of bounds.
The thing that he liked is, and I've seen tons of documentaries and shit on him, is he would talk about, and that's where I really got my running style from, is that you punish the DBs. You punish them. Okay? You're going out of bounds anyway. Okay? Yeah. Why not? And also it for your body's sake. When you deliver a blow, it doesn't affect your body. Negative is when you absorb a blow.
There you go.
Okay, when you deliver, and that's what he did. And remember, he has a book, Never Die Easy.
Never Die Easy.
And that's how his running style was. And if you remember, it was 84 when they were playing the San Francisco 49ers. The Bears the game was over. They lost. These Bears got the ball back. They just had to run the clock out. There's really no way they can win right the year before they won the Super Bowl. And he's running down the sideline, and he just forearms. I don't know. I want to say it might have been Keena Turner or one of the backs, DBs, but he just forearmed him on the sideline instead of just stepping out. You know what I mean? And that's the type of resiliency that this dude had. And that's where I patterned my game a lot from. When you see a DB, man, give it to him.
Punish his ass.
Give it to him.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
His ass.
And you cannot say that Walter Payton was not the master of delivering the blow.
Yeah. So I see a lot of your points, Fabian. I just I think we all three of us here just going to agree to disagree with you, because we showed you exactly why.
Hold on. I think Fabian has been enlightened a little bit more. Not saying that you changed your stance, but now you have more of an understanding.
I'll say this conversation gives me more of appreciation for Walter Payton. I definitely learned some things I didn't know. And like I said too, it's really a generational thing. I'm born in '88.
It is, and that's how it is.
That's the first problem right there.
Hey, you gotta talk to my parents about that. You gotta talk to my parents.
One month you're born.
Every
July, man. July 8th. Happy belated to you too, man.
July 8th. Happy belated, Fabian.
But
belated, man.
I was just about to have my Catholic League MVP season that year in 1988.
I want you to think about things like this. To have that substance building debate, you have to cross eras. Right. And we can start with baseball, where for years we've been taught that Babe Ruth was the best player. For hockey, we've been taught that Wayne Gretzky was the best player. For basketball, depending on your era, you've been taught either Kareem or Michael.
Or if you're already, you're Wilt. No, I'm sorry, Bill Russell. If you're in Boston, it's Bill Russell.
Yeah.
And then if you're in football, it's either Walter, Jerry, or now Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I heard Joe Montana back in the day, right?
Yeah, Joe back in the day. Yeah,
No,
and
you
I
heard
love
Joe
Joe.
the best quarterback, not the best player.
Right. Okay.
You've always only heard Walter or Jerry Rice as the best player.
Yeah.
Prime
overall play.
Yeah.
You got an argument with that.
You do have an argument. You have a legit argument with that.
I love Prime, and I'm
I would consider LT up there too. LT is like one of those.
He's in there. Oh hell yeah, he's in that conversation.
Best at their positions. Best at their positions.
Yes, you could.
Yeah,
those are the best football players in my impact, change the game players.
The only guy, Tom Brady, I could put in there. Dion, I could put in there. LT, because the thing about LT is you couldn't run away from him. Like you could scheme things. Okay, he's on the left side, but in the middle of the play, and that was the thing. Like he was on so much coke, like he would just do his own thing. Like he's supposed to come off the end, and he's like, you know what? Nah, bump this, and he'd start here and then come back in the middle when he really wasn't supposed to.
And he'd be right.
He'd do so, and then he was a monster. He was a monster, dude.
You're funny as hell, Sean.
Right.
He has so much coke.
Hey,
but it's true. It's true.
Those are his words, ain't mine.
It is absolutely.
Hey, so
absolutely.
If I told you right now, today, I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan.
Mm-hmm.
Think he's the greatest quarterback, period. But if I told you the best football player today was Aaron Donald, would you debate that?
I wouldn't.
The best football player?
Best football player in the league
or
today.
At his position?
Player.
I think it might be Aaron Donald because it takes the most requirement and the most
I'm not
planning.
that far off, right?
No,
Yeah.
I think the only other person you could say would be like Mahomes or Tom Brady or something like that, right?
Mahomes and Brady gets put up there, but Brady and Mahomes, they need other people.
Aaron Donald doesn't need nobody. Thank you, Sean.
He lines up, and you can try to run away from his ass. You could try, but dude, that dude is 300 pounds with abs. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
What kind of shit?
It's always three people.
He's a freak. He is a freak.
300 pounds with abs, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to have about 6 to 8% body fat on a 300-pound man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's W-E. That's what
man.
And the thing is, it's at least 3 people keying on him every play, not including the quarterback. So
he gets a double team.
At least 2 linemen and a running back. You know.
Although I will say this, James Daniel handled his ass a couple years ago. Rookie James Daniels from Iowa. When we played the Rams, he handled his ass.
He did. He did.
I was like, whoa.
We won that game, if I'm not mistaken.
We did. We did.
Yeah.
And they were complaining it was too cold. It was too cold. If you said it in LA, we would have beat you. Shut the hell up.
You guys said
no, he's from Pittsburgh. He's used to the cold.
No, he didn't say it. The Rams were saying, like Jalen Ramsey. They were saying, if you would have played at our home place, we would have beat you. Like, shut.
I'm about to say, don't get me started.
Go ahead, Fabian. What were you saying?
Hey, you guys said that Brady and Mahomes needed others. I could argue Brady don't need that much. I could argue Brady don't need that much.
Okay,
as a quarterback. Well,
Fabian,
I mean,
he's a quarterback.
obviously you need
Brady does.
But you need
Did you see
I'm
when the Bears played New England? No, not New England. When they played Tampa Bay last season, did you see that grass he was eating?
That was early. That was before they hit their stride. Though.
So he needs people.
No,
he needs people.
I said not much. I said he don't need much.
Come on, Fabian, how can you say that the offensive line not much, that he doesn't need?
Well,
he just needs those 5 guys in front of him. Aaron Donald doesn't need anybody behind him. He doesn't need the linebackers behind him. He's like, he goes, I'll get rid of you and the running back and get the quarterback.
I get rid of all y'all ass.
That's true. In that point, that's definitely true. You need a line. You need capable guys to get in and out of their routes and hang on to the ball for sure. That part is that's absolutely.
I don't want to give Aaron Donald that title, but God bless it, man. That's tough to do. It's tough not to. Dude.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's a funny story is I will never forget it. As I was in broadcasting school, it was like 2014 when it happened, and I was in class, and the NFL draft was on because I had taken night classes, and I'm running back and forth into the studio, all right, because they had the ESPN on, and the Bears had the number 7 pick, I want to say, and I'm like, oh man, we get Aaron Donald, we are set, and the Rams had the number 6 pick. And I'm sitting there, and they were supposed to. I forgot who they were going to take, and there was just rumors that they were going to take somebody. And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm excited. I'm professor's in the other room talking. I'm like, yeah, bump you. I need to see this draft. We get Aaron Donald, we're good. And when they said the pick, St. Louis Rams select Aaron Donald. I was like, fuck! Right in the middle of school. And it could have said, like, what happened? I'm like, they fucking took Aaron Donald. They took Aaron Donald. And that's when we got Kyle Fuller next.
Right.
I'm not mad about that.
Not too bad, but he was no Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
All right, Fabian, we about to take you off the chopping block now, man. We done tried to chop you up enough, man.
Yeah, y'all done put me on the barbecue grill, man.
Hey,
But you know what?
Hey, but you learned something today.
Hey, man.
You've been a good sport, man.
I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate
And
y'all.
you're right. Life is
Take
a
all
hustle.
this damn punishment.
Appreciate that too, man.
All right, man.
Good stuff, Fabian.
Man. Yes,
Hey,
sir. Y'all be good.
Appreciate you, Fabian.
Yes, sir.
Take
Appreciate
care,
y'all.
man. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right, man.
Well, guys, that was fun.
It was.
That was fun. Yeah,
really
Fabian was a good sport, man, but he got schooled.
Well, that's
We
it.
had to school his ass.
He was young, and that's the thing. It's like you get a lot of people. Like people say, 5 years ago, people said Steph Curry was the best basketball player to ever live. And like, dude, like you look at those people and like, come on, man. Like, I thought you led. Paint chips were done. What happened to you, bro?
Steph Curry cold, but come on, man. What are you talking about?
And the thing is, when you get people, and I get it, especially at my age, when you see, because the newest thing, the newest guy, the hottest guy, everyone says Patrick Mahomes. Okay, good. Patrick Mahomes is on that trajectory. Okay, can he do it again? Can he? Because you saw what happened when he don't have that line. He looked as bad as Cam Newton. Cam Newton did. He looked as bad as Cam Newton did when Cam Newton lost the Super Bowl.
I think that's any quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked bad, man. That offensive line just shut down. Like,
Let me say this. And we have a lot of wealth, knowledge-wise, generationally on this screen. A lot of our younger constituents, they're prisoners of the moment. It's that whole microwave technology.
Instant gratification.
There you go. But we feed into that too, because us older cats, we would be like, we would say, Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? We constantly say that. But then we'll also piggyback off of that and say, you have to respect the past. You have to respect what has been done. When you get into arguments about the greatest of all time at any sport, be it team or individual, you cannot have the present without honoring what happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And the young people to me forget that. They just be like, oh man, y'all couldn't do this, and this. Okay, I didn't need a 50-inch vertical to be great in the 80s. But guess what? Your 50-inch vertical doesn't make you great now. It just make you have a 50-inch vertical.
You're winning the dunk contest doesn't mean you're one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
It's because this generation deals with we talk about the instant gratification, the YouTube, the YouTube clips, the highlight clips, the Sports Center clips. That's what they want. And then now all the likes, dude, that video got X amount of likes. See, that dunk got this. But that doesn't mean that your shooting percentage is good. It doesn't mean that your rushing percentage is good. It doesn't mean your batting average or your non-home runs are good, is acceptable. It's just those things. And if you get let's just take baseball, and you get a guy who hits four, say a guy hits 3 home runs that wins a game, okay, throughout the season. All right, because baseball happens every day. Like, dude, this dude does it every day. He's the best. Like, no, he's got 5 home runs on the season. 3 of them just happen to win a game.
Right.
Doesn't mean he's the best, but because it was a moonshot, because it was the end of a comeback. If you give me 30 homers and 3 win the game, now we can have a conversation.
Now we can talk.
Yeah, but don't give me 5 homers. He gets 3 are on Sports Center, and YouTube clips getting 1 million views because it went 520 feet.
And his bat flip was epic.
Bingo. Bingo. And the bat flip might get more views than the actual home run.
Right.
Hey, speaking of baseball, we can't sign off without even mentioning the dismantling of the Cubs. Can we get a moment of silence for the Cubs?
Javen Singleton.
Hell no.
Fuck the Cubs.
You know what? Here's my issue with them, and here's why I say that. Okay, you've touted being the top team in the city. Okay, the Sox fans, we've all been second-class citizens. Okay, you live in the third, and for the longest time, it was the second biggest market in the country. But yet you spend like a team, the Kansas City Royal team. Okay, explain to me why the New York Yankees, may be down for a year or two, but are always back up in playoff contention atop the AL East. Explain to me why the Dodgers may be down for a year or two, but they're back in contention in the NL West. Explain that to me. Why? Because they run their organization like a big market team. The Cubs do not run their organization like a big market team. You could have kept Javi, Brian, and Rizzo. Yeah, you would have had to pay a tax, but guess what? You own all the fucking rooftops. Okay, so everybody who's coming to see them, that's money. You own a damn hotel.
The hotel
flying in to stay at that $500 a night hotel to stay in Wrigleyville to go to the game. That's right. Money too. So don't give me this stuff that you don't have the money or financially wasn't prudent. You know what? Everybody lost money, and I'll tell you what. Let's not get it twisted. They're bitching and moaning, but when you had a business, you were able to apply for a PPP loan and get that, and it was forgivable. So who knows? Tom Brady got like $5 million from his business because he has him and his trainer Alex Hernandez Rodriguez, whatever.
Right.
They have a performance thing, dude. He got $3 or $4 million from a PPP loan. So you mean the Cubs ain't going to take advantage of that? All the pro teams who lost money are going to take advantage of that? You know damn well they are. So when they sit there and give you all this bullshit of financially, we lost a lot of money. Yeah, but how much did you get in the PPP loans? Okay, don't give me that bullshit. Don't lie. They could have kept all 3 of those guys. They could, and said, hey, let's run it again. And here's the problem with why I don't have any compassion for them. Okay. The blueprint was laid, okay, with Theo. You develop your position players, develop the shit out of them, and go buy pitching. Now they have those guys up there. Now they want to try to develop pitching. You don't have time to develop pitching. You don't have time. You know what? You go and you pay the hired guns, basically. And when they deviated from that, who are the pitchers? You got the professor, who's good. He's been good for a while. He's only been an ace for like 2 seasons.
Right. He
was good before. You had Darvish. He had a lot of pressure because he was getting still fucked up from the Houston Astros cheating scandal when he thought he wanted to kill himself because he's like, I can't believe they hit me. Like, they're cheating, dude. Relax. They're cheating. They said they knew when you were throwing a curveball, a breaking ball, and they waited. So let it go. But what other pitchers do you have? Go buy the pitching. When the Cubs won it in 16, they got Lackey. They had Lester. You know what I mean? You had pitchers. And when you deviated from that, because you're trying to build Adbert Alzolay, who couldn't be good, but he's not a Lackey, he's not a Lester, he's not a Yu Darvish, he's not a Jake Arrieta.
Oh, they had my man from the throws like 105 on the Yankees as a closer.
Yeah, they rented him. They rented him at the deadline. So you had pitching. You went and you bought pitching. Now they're trying to develop it over the last 3 years, and it's not working. So you know what? I don't care how many, baseball ebbs and flows, especially your hitters. If you don't got good pitching behind it, come on, man, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and that's where they went wrong. They wanted to bring their pitchers up through their farm system, but the blueprint, the way this team was made, is you have to buy pitching. The White Sox, on the other hand, they were able to develop pitching, and they still bought pitching. But
they still bought. Right, I must say.
But you look at the guys. You got Kopech in there. I know he was leader, but you got Dylan Cease in there. You got Carlos Rodon in there. These are guys they brought up, and the White Sox have always been good, thanks to Cooper and those guys. We're having a good farm system when it came to pitching, and the Cubs deviated from that. They tried that, but like, dude, that's not your forte. That's why they're screwed up, because you're giving up 4 or 5 runs, hell, 3 or 4 runs, and then you're in a flow, and you can't match it, because your pitching sucks.
Well, damn, Sean, can you tell us how you really feel?
Hey, Emilio, he needs somebody on the show.
I was on Sunday.
He was on Plunked. I was watching. So, switching up from baseball to basketball real quick. Man, it looks like the Bulls are trying to put together a contender, man.
Boy.
Don't get me started.
I can't. You guys got to tune in tomorrow, man, because that's going to be a hell of a show, bro. I can't wait to talk about these trades.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Well, we gonna talk about it right now. Go ahead, JB.
I've been watching basketball all my life. To where CBS on Channel 2 used to have the little purple neon shit going on before the tape delayed game.
I remember that. I remember that.
What I've seen the Bulls do now, in my lifetime, I have never seen the Bulls do. Ever. Okay, hey, Bullets, hey, Bullets, check my background.
Man, Bullets, if you don't get your ass out of here talking about that shit, man.
No. We have to honor our audience.
Hey, go ahead, JB. Say what you were saying. I ain't talking about no Lakers.
Let me talk about the beloved first. I love the aggressiveness of what AK is doing. I really do. Getting Lonzo was a steal. Yeah. And very much so needed, especially for those that don't know, Kobe White has an injury. He has an undisclosed injury, but he has an injury. Drafting Ayo was kind of questionable to me, but the Caruso deal, that gave you the backcourt defense that had been – the Bulls ain't playing no defense in the backcourt. Let's be honest. They just did. They didn't.
No.
One thing Caruso going to do, he going to play some damn defense. And he going to dunk a person or two, too. I'm not trying to be funny, but if you remember Space Jam 1, when Elmer Fudd had that white headband on, that's Alex Caruso.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's funny. That's a great call. That's a good comparison. That's a great call.
But I love it because guess what?
That's a great call.
He gonna lock down, and we need that.
Yeah.
I love the DeMar DeRozan pickup. I do. The one issue I have, where I have the Bulls finishing 6th. Mm-hmm. Once you put all that together, your bench is still suspect as hell. You have no bigs. You don't know what you're going to do with Laurie, right? If you were to trade Laurie Markkanen, this is the next, let me just give you a little insight. This is the next big deal. Laurie Markkanen, and I think it's the next 2nd round pick.
I was like, dude, we ain't got no first like the next 20 years, dude.
Right. But check this out. It's for Porzingis. Now, us three collectively damn near play more NBA games than Porzingis will. I'm to be honest. I don't want Laurie, and I don't want Porzingis. I don't want either one of them.
You don't, dude. Give me Laurie, and here's why. Laurie has the potential. We talked about it. It's just that it's here with him. Because how many times have we seen him drop 30, drop 20, 20 and 15? All right. It's just not consistent. All right. There's times when there was trade, if you remember when there were trade talks about him last year, dude, he came out and there were times, dude, he's yoking on people. You know what? And I think Boylan really fucked him up big time, because you've seen how much thicker he's gotten since his rookie year. Let him get his ass in the post, and he is the perfect matchup nightmare for anybody. So if you give me a big, strong guy, I'm going to pull your ass out and put it on the floor and go by you. You give me a smaller guy, I'm going to pound it in and dunk on you or give you a baby hook. I can hit you with a mid-range jumper. I can hit you with a three-pointer. Let him use his entire arsenal. But Boylan said, no, get your ass out by the three. And so he's a three-point shooter, but he's not a great three-point shooter. And then he wouldn't let him do anything else. And that affected every other part of his game. Get your ass down there where you're 5 feet away from the basket and just move people.
He's too soft. He's too soft.
No,
he's soft.
I love your assessment, but let me allude to one thing that our guest AP said. Use your tools. If a play was drawn for marketing here or there at 7 feet, mind you, the passive aggressiveness shows me that either one, he don't want to be here. He really don't. Or two, his game is predicated on mismatches, of which the Bulls do not exploit proper mismatches. They never had, not never, but the new regime, they stopped exploiting mismatches. They just did. At 7 feet, Lauri Markkanen, yeah, you can go in and out. But when you have somebody 6'4" guarding you and you still shooting a three and you're not going to the post, I have a problem with that.
And whose fault
is that? That's because he's soft.
No, that's because that's the coaching. Because the coaching says, I need you to the 3-point line. So his dude, why it was in the olden days when the big top, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, why the hell could an elephant be held with a stake in the ground when he could just basically back the fuck up and pull the stake out of the ground?
There you go.
Because he's conditioned. And what they do, and they Jim Boylan conditioned him. I need you to be a 3-point shooter. And you know what he said? Oh, there's a guy 6'4". Good, you can shoot right over him. Oh, you can shoot right over him. No, you back his ass down. You pull a Magic Johnson and say, we're going downtown. We're going to the hole. No, you shoot over him, and that's a shoot. 3-point.
Not just Boylan, but Hoiberg,
yeah.
Paxson, Foreman, that whole regime. Because here's one thing I know this for a fact. If Lauri Markkanen was on another team, he'd damn near be an all-star.
You don't have to be on another team. You know why? Because you mentioned it. AK knows what the fuck to do. They have a player development department.
There you go.
Player development person.
And the previous regime did not have that. A lot of people they didn't have that.
And I think that's why they didn't trade him. Because I don't think a lot of people wanted him, but I think secretly they're like, okay, let's keep him, because if you get him, he is a poor man's Dirk. What can he not do? He can shoot a three. He's not going to be 47%, but he can hit you a three. He can hit the mid range. He can put it on the floor. He can back you in. There's a whole bunch of things in his repertoire. He has a huge repertoire and arsenal that he can unleash on you. But when you pigeonhole him and tell him this is what you do and this is all that you do, well, now he's worried. Okay, well, if I back down, if I do this, the coach is gonna be mad. Or no. And that's the one thing. Don't ever stifle a creative players, because if you're a scorer and Lauri can be then let him score. You know what? Because you know what? It's hey Lauri, got a guy on here. He's 6'10" and he's 30 pounds lighter than you. Guess what? Today, your ass is gonna be in a post. Okay, unless they switch up and put a bigger guy, the second team guy, then come out. Otherwise, your ass in the post. Guess what? Tomorrow we have a bigger guy. Guess what? I need you to pull him out, and we're gonna run play. We're gonna run pick and roll with you guys. And this is coaching. And coaching. How many players have we seen that? I mean, look at Tom Thibodeau. How many players did he get big contracts for? C.J. Watson and all these other guys, because he coached them properly and he told them their role. When you give a player a role, this is what I need you to do, and this only. All right. You didn't ask Michael to rebound every freaking rip. That was Rodman's job. But Michael rebounded when necessary. You didn't ask Rodman to score all your points, right? Because that Rodman's role was to rebound. Give people a role. Phil Jackson was the best at it. Good coaches are great at giving people roles. And your role might be you score whoever they put on you is a mismatch.
There you go.
Get that into his head. And now he thinks, dude, you're gonna card me? I'll pull you out. Another guy's, well, I got you. Yeah, well, I'll back you in.
I'll back you in. There you go. Now, here's where I say the one caveat that prevails is this.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back 2 years, am I so brash in saying that Danilo Gallinari is really equivalent to Lauri Markkanen? That's damn near what and what, right? But guess what Billy Donovan did with Danilo Gallinari at a 6'10" 3-point shooter? I don't care if you have the mismatch. Find a pace on the court and shoot the three. That's the same thing Donovan is doing with Markkanen. The same thing.
No, because I don't agree. Because there was a lot of times that he's been down low. I think if he gets in the flow, then yeah, and he if you start getting him some easy buckets, it's like any scorer, man. That basket looks this big, dude. That basket looks like this. You know what I'm saying? So you give me a couple cheap ones, you give me a couple in transition, you get him moving, involved in the flow of this game. Now he can take threes. I think that I personally think they're gonna use that player development department.
But Sean, let me ask you this: while you're trying to get Markkanen those shots, now you have Lonzo, you have DeMar, you have Zach, you have Vooch. So right now, I'm sorry, you have Patrick Williams. So
and
right now,
Zach something or other, I forgot his name.
Right, so right now, it's get in where you fit in.
No, and I'll tell you where he fits in: the second unit.
I said 6 man. That's what I said.
Because you look what happened with Luol Deng. When you put Luol Deng on the second unit, he flourished. Because you put Lowry on the second unit and say, hey, listen, you might not be with the starting five, but you're going to get your 15 to 20 a game. Because you're going against guys who you're a first team player. You go to a lot of other teams, and you're a starter. So you're a starter's talent playing against I don't want to say scrubs, but guys who aren't as talented as you. You better eat, boy. You better eat. Okay. And then you're depending on who they have, in the backup point guard, or maybe Kobe White. You got a lot of guys in that second unit who we need another bench mob. And you could be that leader. You know what? You don't have to be in that score to be a starter. That don't mean jack anymore. You can get your points because now everything's so sectional.
Compartmentalized. In the flow of the game.
Right. At this point, starters come out, second unit goes in, starters go back in. And so when your time comes and it's pretty much the same time every game, you know that you to these guys. Here's where you don't have to worry about him facing top-notch defenders, because they're not going to bring a top-notch defender on him, because then who are you going to put on Vooch? Who are you going to put on DeMar DeRozan? Who are you going to put on Zach LaVine? So they're going to leave their top defenders against that first unit. And now this guy can eat.
To my point. Exactly. And that's why I said if you really look at what Billy Donovan does as far as his coaching philosophy, picking up DeMar DeRozan is actually more important than picking up Lonzo Ball.
I think so.
Coaching philosophy.
I think so. Well, DeMar DeRozan can go 2 or 3.
And he can create his own shot.
Yes.
He's not a slouch defensively.
No, definitely not.
And he can get to the bucket. That's why I said you might like.
I think we'll be on different sides of the fence. Oh no, here's what we're gonna do. Here's where we stand. I think we're on different sides of the fence until the playoffs, because the playoffs aren't up and down, run and gun and create your own shot. Playoffs are half court basketball, and I think that's the ideal time. And then you have other games, you have bigger games, rivalry games, or just you're in a hostile environment and you need to just run a set. Okay, I think that's where Lonzo is going to shine. Is getting people moving. Now you don't have to get Zach. Zach doesn't have to have the ball. Zach could be running around like Reggie Miller used to do and Rip Hamilton.
Or Ray Allen.
And get ball just tired as hell. Just keep running. Patrick Williams, just go up and down that baseline. And as soon as someone goes to double team someone else, boop, there you go. Because we have phenomenal passers. So I think that is.
I agree.
So that's why
I'm just worried about Lowry's mentals, as you're no longer the starter. You're the 6th or 7th man, because right now, if DeMar DeRozan is slated at the 3, that means Patrick Williams is going to start at the 4.
But are they going positionless basketball though?
Well, at this particular time, you really can't.
1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then the front court.
I mean, because three positions are solidified. Lonzo at the 1, Zach at the 2, and Vooch at the 3. I'm sorry, Vooch at the 5.
Yeah.
So, in essence, that means the 3 and 4 could be up for grabs, but you don't get DeMar DeRozan to put him on the bench.
Right? No. Not after the contract you just gave his ass. 85.
Right, exactly. Like, you don't pay him to play 17 minutes a game as the 8th man.
Yeah, definitely not.
So we're guard heavy. We're guard heavy right now. Who's expendable? Who's expendable?
Felicio.
He ain't
Denzel. Denzel Valentine.
Yeah, Denzel definitely.
Felicio's gone. His contract's up, thank God. And
it's after this year, right?
No, I thought it was done.
I have to check that.
It needs to be done. I need to make a call to make sure that he gets the fuck out of here.
Hey, look, I love mob movies, so I know what having pictures of people does. So he had to have some pictures of some people that last in the league. He don't do shit. He does nothing.
Yeah, no, he's an unrestricted free agent.
Nah.
Oh, he's a UFA? Okay, so
he's done. He's free. He's out. That's what I thought. Yeah, last year he collected $7.529 million, and the year before 8.1. The year before that 8.4.
Wow. It'll be very interesting to see who's gonna pick him up.
Felicio.
Hey, you know what? No, here's what I'll say. I ain't gonna hate him for that because he didn't offer himself that contract. Those are Garpax. Those are those idiots who did that stupid shit. And like I'm not a basketball evaluator. I could see. Trust me. If I decided to be, I might be okay. But when common people, when the majority of people are saying, "Dude, what the fuck does this guy have to get the extension?" I can see if you kept him, he's a project you want to work, but to get that extension, dude, I just told you it was 7 something and 8 and 8 and 7 before. All that money for a project? You're gonna give him that? Come on, man. That's eating into your free agent money, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's Garpax stupidity that they would do for 15. They did for 15 years.
They didn't even do that for Amir Ashik, and he's way better than Felicio.
Ashik and destroy, hell yeah.
Ashik and destroy.
So yeah, I love you. You mentioned it, and I'm going to reiterate it, man. As I love this organization, the things that they're doing, they're acting like a professional basketball organization. And ain't this some shit? Is a guy who we thought was the biggest son of a gun in Jerry Reinsdorf, and really didn't give a shit about the Bulls after Mike left, didn't give a shit about the Sox, even though baseball is more important to him than basketball. Now he's got competent people in decision-making roles, and they're making baseball decisions and they're making basketball decisions that benefit us. Because I don't care what you say. If I'm going to negotiate anything, if I go to court, I'm bringing Rick Hahn with me because that Joker.
Rick Hahn, smooth, man.
Man,
so smooth.
How the hell did you not get rid of Crochet? How did you not have to let go of Crochet to get Kimbrel? How the hell did you not let go of
from the Cubs of all people
after we screwed him over the first time?
Right.
No, baby, I do. I'm sorry. I'm gonna change my ways. I love you. I'm sorry. That's what he said.
Pretty much.
That dude is a master negotiator, and my hat goes off to him damn near every show when they start talking White Sox. Like, and then to lock all these dudes up, like the first dude don't come up till I think Yo-Yo in 25.
20, you're right. 25, 24, 25, right.
That's the first time the dude's up. That's the first of these guys that's up. You lock them up for to get them to agree to it. Man, hats off to that dude, man.
He wrecked them numbers, man. He really did. He wrecked them.
Yeah, because they're getting overpaid. They're getting overpaid now,
right?
But if they played to their potential, they will be vastly underpaid at that point,
right? And still under contract.
Yep.
The one thing I'll say, AK has proven that he is going to be aggressive for the Bulls.
Oh, you mean like
we see that. We
like
see
that.
We see
president of basketball operations, like a professional. Yeah, we haven't seen that in 16 years, 15
years. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Because I'm a realist. The move that the Bulls have made, in my opinion, I still have them 6th. I have them 6th in the Eastern Conference. 6th.
I have them. If we can get a 3-point shooter, and here's why.
Currently, Sean, not if. Like if we get JJ Redick, that changes things.
Oh, it changes everything.
But
here's
now, currently constructed, I have them at 6.
I have them 4 to 5, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Billy Donovan,
mm-hmm.
and first of all, I'll go back. We'll start at the top. We'll go to A with Jerry Reinsdorf. AK, the moves he's making. Okay, these players see it. They're like, dude, this dude wants us to win. You know, him and Mark Eversley. We don't give Mark Eversley enough credit. It's all about AK. We need to give him a little more.
Behind the scenes, he don't speak much.
Because he's technically the general manager who makes the move,
but he don't speak. Right.
And he needs to get a little more vocal. But AK is doing. But look at Billy Donovan. Okay, his ability to coach is almost unparalleled. Look what he did at Florida. Okay.
Twice.
Did he have any superstars at Florida? He had a couple stars. He had Joe Kim. Joe Kim wasn't a superstar. He had Tito Horford. He was good. He wasn't a superstar. Corey Brewer. He was good. He wasn't a superstar, and he did it twice. The ability for him to make the sum greater than the parts is what has me believing this team is going to be better. Mm-hmm. And when we have key positions, now we got a legit point guard. Okay, we got the stud center last year, and he's only got about 3 to 4 years left. I'd say 2 solid years left, and then before he starts to decline. But we got Pat Williams, who I think is going to blossom into a stud. You know, we have key positions. We have guys who can be superstars, and if he can do this with just a couple of stars and talented athletes, down in Florida. I believe he can do something with extremely talented young men, players here in the NBA, in conjunction with the player development department that we keep harping on that was non-existent before this regime got it. That he's going to make these guys as a team better than they are individually, and that's my opinion. And you can quote me on that.
Hey, you'll get little to no resistance from me on that. My mom said they have to gel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've seen superstar, so-called name-wise teams not necessarily gel to do what they're projected to do. The only thing that I will give the Bulls is this. You have to give them the credit for being aggressive. They've made moves. Putting it all together, Sean, I think you have a little bit more faith in Billy Donovan as a coach than I do. But it's got to be something to bring it all together. I don't know if that's a player. I don't know if that's a trade. Hell, I don't know if that's a coaching change. But right now, on my book, because remember, 10 teams make it, technically. 10 teams make the playoffs. I have Bulls as 6. I don't think they've surpassed Brooklyn, 76ers, Milwaukee. Miami's about to be a problem. Part of me still feels that Atlanta and the Knicks have something to say. And the rumor is if the Knicks get Damian Lillard.
Wow. That changes
the landscape.
Yeah, that would change a lot of things if they get Lillard.
I'm sorry, I love the Bulls, but damn,
Damian Lillard, as Charles Barkley said.
They get game time?
Logo Lillard?
Logo like Bulls might fall to 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
And they've got like 3 legit all-stars. Like they really do.
Yeah.
Well, we've been on here talking sports for 2 hours and 35 minutes, man.
And I love every minute and counting.
Why don't we go ahead and get to our shout out so I can go get another beer?
Wait, hold, bro. No shout report tonight?
No, I moved the shout report to Wednesday. Man, don't act like you like the shout report.
Hold on.
Don't act like you like the shout. I wasn't on the episode. On the episode.
Time out. I gave you Chris Webber and I gave you everybody regular.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry. I'm that guy. Sorry.
That's hilarious.
The reason I've watched The Shy is in support of you, so you know I watched it.
I know, but I wasn't
take the report away from me. Like, where's Erica?
Well, it's gonna be tomorrow because we have a double header.
Oh, speak on that, please.
Yes. So tomorrow, the podcast is gonna be ladies, and the topic is going to be mental health and sports. It's been a big issue. Well, Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, they made the decision to sit it out for a second because they had to get themselves together, and they should be applauded for that, not ridiculed, and not oh, you're a disgrace to the country and you should be. Man, no, applaud these women because mental health is important, and if they have the courage to say enough is enough, I need a break, you got to respect that. So, and a lot of people, we don't think too much about mental health. We just keep on going. And the stress builds up. And sometimes we need to take a break.
Mhm.
But those ladies took a break. And we need to talk about taking a break for ourselves sometimes. So that is why it's important for us to have this podcast tomorrow. And the ladies are gonna run that.
Is this open is this an open forum tomorrow, Terrence?
Yeah. Yeah, it's open. It's open.
What time tomorrow? Because I got a coach tomorrow. I got practice.
It is at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on tomorrow.
Yeah, I get done at 8, so I probably won't be back for a while. And I got to eat and shit. We'll see. We'll see if I can get in because I have a little different view. I'm a little upset with Simone Biles, and not that she took time out for her health because I have no problem with that. My thing is you have a team that you're a leader of, and if you weren't right, then you should have gone. You shouldn't have gone. Okay, then you shouldn't have gone. And I don't know what because the one thing if you listen to what she was saying is like it's not fun anymore. Okay, well why isn't it fun anymore? Okay, because this was fun 4 years or 5 years ago. Okay, it was great. What I believe happened is that her sponsors were putting a lot of pressure on her. NBC was putting a lot of pressure on her. The IOC or the American Gymnastics Committee was putting pressure on her because you are the face of this. And she's 24 years old now. I mean, how often do we get gymnasts this old? Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Don't get past their teens.
Right. And so, if this had happened last year, it might have been a different situation when the Olympics were supposed to happen. Okay, if she'd have been 23, but now she's 24. She's growing up. She might have a man. She might have, and your mind changes. Think of what you were when you were 18 as opposed to you're 23 or 24. Like your mind, you just evolve.
That's two, maybe even three different people.
And that's why I think if she just said, "Hey, listen, I don't want to. I just don't feel it." Okay, cool. Let your teammates know because you're their leader. You're the undeniable leader of that. You're the face of that. And her going out there and then say, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I think that let her team down. And I'm not that again. I understand the pressure, but if the pressure didn't happen when you got to Tokyo, the pressure was there beforehand.
There you go.
And she needed people who are in her corner. So all of it really isn't even on her. She needed people in her corner saying, hey, listen, if you can't do this shit, if you're not there, don't go. Tell them. Fuck the sponsors. But you know what? You made millions already. You're going to make millions after the Olympics. Don't worry about the money. But your mental health and your physical health, if you're not mentally ready, don't go. And let these girls compete knowing, okay, we don't have our leaders. So let's circle the wagons so we can go without her, knowing, not expecting her to be there because there's nothing like it, man. You expect someone to be there and they're not there. Yeah, that's a tough thing for me. So I'm a little upset with her. Just because of that, the timing of it, but I'm definitely not upset because she wanted to take care of her mental health.
Now, Sean, I have to play devil's advocate. Let me piggyback, but I'm going to have to play devil's advocate real quick, Terrence, before we get to our shout-outs. I absolutely agree with every sentiment you just said, but I'm going to take it one step further. The move that she tried or attempted on that vault, of which her own people told her, do not try. If she had stuck that move, are we still wondering about this whole mental health thing?
If she stuck it, no.
In my opinion, no, because she just pulled off the most unobtainable, greatest move ever. If she sticks that move and it's like Simone Biles, greatest ever goal, are we even talking about this tomorrow?
No, and all what? No, we're not. But here's another thing about it, and it kind of bugs me. Like she was getting penalized for doing some of the shit she was doing. Like there's 4 jumps that are named. They're the Simone or the Biles 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes.
Like no one else can do them. No one else can do them. No one else is. There's only one other person who's attempted and tried. That was like someone on her team that did it, but no one else in the world has tried it and attempted these jumps. But then they weren't giving her credit for it. I think that was a big issue. But at that point, you need to see someone say, "Okay, listen, I don't need you to do the quadruple quintuple Lindy. Just give me the shit that's going to win."
There you go.
And because when she's trying to outdo herself, which is good. You want to do it, you're pushing yourself. But if you're and you have, and this is where coaching comes in. We talked about it with the Bulls. Is where coaching comes in and say, "Hey, listen, they're not counting this shit. Okay, so I need you to do what you're super comfortable at because you're so much better than everybody else doing the basic shit.
Do what you're dominant at for the team."
Right. I don't need you to do that crazy shit. Now, if the Russians were like the Russians back in the 80s, yeah, I'm gonna need you to do that crazy, 6.5, 7 spins and tumbles and everything, stick the landing. We ain't dealing with Nadia Comaneci, okay? We're dealing with
and that's why I said I'm not saying that she wasn't struggling with mental health, the whole Larry Nassar, all that shit. I'm not saying that wasn't on her mind. But I bet you $1 to a bucket of shit if she sticks that move, this is a moot point.
Yeah. That's gonna be a good podcast tomorrow, man. That's gonna be real good.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be a great podcast, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So let's get to our shout outs. Sean, you want to start?
First, I want to shout you guys out for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Anytime I get to talk sports, and then talk sports with knowledgeable people, because that's not everybody's knowledgeable. Everybody could talk sports, but not everybody's knowledgeable. So
we saw that. We saw that earlier.
Eric Dickerson is the best running back ever to live. Say no to crack, buddy. All right,
yeah,
please. Shout out to him, man, and for coming on and taking the heat like he took. That was big of him. That was big of him.
You froze up.
Oh, not doing the shout outs.
Oh no, we gotta get you back, Super back. Oh no. He'll come back, man. I told you it's that Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi is so unreliable. There he is.
My internet's like, dude, you've been on too damn long. Yeah, man, it kind of caught me off guard. But definitely shout out you guys. I appreciate it. And I didn't get to see AP because I had a situation I had to take care of, so I didn't. But I just want to shout out my people over in my corner. My girl Maya, my co-host. She'll be on tomorrow. My producer Ivan, who makes everything run all smooth over here. Just shout out to those guys, man. It's, helping us do our thing, and it's fun. It allows us to do allows me to do what I love to do, and just talk shit like I've been doing since I was like 5.
JB, I guess it's on you, bro.
I'm gonna be short and sweet tonight. Even though there was a different perspective tonight, I do want to shout out Fabian Chapman, because to come on with his opinion and to take what we had to give him, I have to honor that guy. Because a lot of people wouldn't take it.
Stuck to his guns.
Correct. And he was not above reproach, and he was not above being educated. So shout out to Fabian Chapman.
Yeah.
Shout out to AP. Great pod, great interview, great guy. Love his insight. Great running back. Like everything up, and up.
One of Georgia Southern's finest.
Georgia Southern's finest.
Definitely.
Georgia State Hall of Fame. College Football Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah. He was leading rusher for, wasn't he leading rusher for in the NFL in 1AA history, I think, for a while. Or he was up there.
He was. See, you know your history.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say he was one of those guys. We just didn't know it.
Didn't know it. Exactly.
He showed flashes, but he was one of those guys for sure. Exactly. Shout out to AP. Not AP. Let's get it right.
Right. Don't get that shit confused. AP.
Please don't. Shout out to Miss Sandra, as y'all know.
Miss Sandra.
Shout out to SB as always. And shout out to Sean because, man, you know, we go back, man. You my bro. And sit and talk to you, man. Like I wish we could talk on more platforms more openly, even offset, because we always have great back and forth. And I love your mind. I love your mind, bro. Like your sports mind and acumen, whether it's football, baseball, like you on point. So shout out to you, Sean. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's all I got, T.
All right. Well, I guess it's on me. The first person I want to shout out is AP. AP, hell of a running back, hell of a specialist. He delivered that punishment, boy. He was a beast. And he gave a lot of good insight today. Definitely on not only his career, but also these Bears and David Montgomery right now. So I'm definitely shouting him out. The second one, Sean, thank you, man. This was like a last minute thing. And I got a little story about Sean. Back in December. When we were kind of just getting started with this podcast, and I talked to Sean, and Sean said, "Man, go ahead, do that shit. Just do it, you know." Because I was telling him, "Man, we ain't got nobody to come on the podcast. We don't have many people." Sean was like, "Man, fuck it, go ahead, do it. Just do the podcast. The people will come." You know, so and Sean is like a wealth of knowledge. I mean, you know, way more shit than I do. It is just, you know, it's really cool that I could just call you, like, you come on in 5 minutes. You're like, okay, cool. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be ready. So shout out to you, Sean. Appreciate it, man. Really do appreciate it. JB, you are that dude, man. You are that dude. I really, really, really appreciate you all the time. AB, I know you under the weather, but yeah, I appreciate you too, bro. JI, everybody that's affiliated with CCP, Konisha, Kristen, Emilio, they were the originals. SP, can't forget SP because she'll get on me if I don't mention her name. But yeah, man. So she was going to host tomorrow, but she got some other things that came up, so she's not gonna host. So Konisha, Sherry Green from Flag Football.
Okay.
And who else? We might have Kim Agoin from WVON. I'm not sure yet. Tanny may come. Tanny from Flag Football. She may come. She's a licensed social worker. And then Deidre Weathersby, she's a licensed not physical therapist. She's a licensed psychologist. So she will be on tomorrow. It's going to be a good show, man. It's going to be a good show. I don't know if it's going to be a tearjerker. It might be. We'll see. But that pretty much concludes my shout outs. I don't have no family support, so I can't shout out my mama. I can't. My pops might be watching. A couple cousins may be watching, but that's about it. But for everybody in the chat that is watching, we appreciate y'all. It would not be no podcast without you. And I hope you tune in tomorrow. All right. And next week, y'all remember Mike Green? Mike Green, safety,
Yes.
number 43.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Delivered a lot of punishment.
Strong safety.
A lot of punishment. Yeah. So he'll be on next week.
That was when they had the color defense, the color secondary.
Yeah,
right?
brown and
brown
green.
and gray.
Brown
green
and
and gray.
Yep.
Brown, green, and gray. Brown,
Yes.
brown,
Yes.
brown, green, and gray.
Brown, green, and gray. Right. Yep.
Yes.
Hey man, I'm glad you've done it, man. You know what, and you decided to take that leap. Is look at you, man. How many bears you had? Like on 50? You know what I mean? Hey, you know what? You know who I ran into today at Soldier Field? Ran into Zoom, Jerry Zoom, my guy. And,
really?
Yeah, I was walking by. I was like, oh shit, Zoom. He turned around with his kid, and then he'd never seen me with this. He was like, oh shit, Sean, what's going on, man? I was like, and he had his little son. They were going to get a hat or something, and his son was all moody. He's like, yeah, he's at the moon. I was like, all right, man, I just want to say what's up. Yeah, I ran into Zoom. Yeah, he's
right. But that's all good.
Yeah, look at all the dudes you had, though, man. Look at all the former players you have, and it's sometimes that's it. We just need an outside force because I do the same thing. We question ourselves. When we don't see a clear path, and it's like, but how? But how? And I need to know how. Sometimes you don't need to know how. You just need to do. It's like that old saying, ready, shoot, aim. You know what I mean? Like, just shoot, just do it. And it somehow crazy thing happens. When you take control of shit, things tend to work out for you. And I'm happy that you get it because you got like a list of like back in the 2000 bears and beyond and shit. So. I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing, man. It's awesome. It really is.
Thanks, man. Yep, you had a lot to do with that. Man. So, everybody in the chat, hope you tune in tomorrow. But for now, we out. Peace. Oh shit. Wait a minute.